We're live officially.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the shop here in Clearwater. You're here live with us. At the shop, we have a 1999 Viggen here, and the owner of this car has actually owned this car for 16 years, roughly, I think.
Yeah, it was his first car.
That's a me for
Steve, yeah.
16 years. It's pretty crazy to find somebody who's owned a Viggen that long, and the coolest thing is it was his first car. So kind of jealous. My first car was an OG 93 as well. Ron's first car technically wasn't an OG 93. You technically briefly owned, or didn't you drive a?
I had a Volvo, but
Yeah, to say yeah.
Whoa,
Let's-
Yeah.
So Ron's also an OG 93. So what the main purpose of this is, if you guys have any questions or want to know what we're doing as what goes into removing one of the motors, an H series motor from an OG 93.
Yes, all the hubbub. What all the hubbub's about.
An NG 900 is very similar as well. We're actually going to be taking the motor apart, kind of seeing what looks like. Now, the car actually drove in here. There is actually no problems with the car mechanically. Is not making
Sort of.
power. Steven actually was like, "Hey, yeah, my car feels pretty quick." We went and actually
And it wasn't.
drove it. It's not making any.
Sorry, Steve.
Be massive air leaks, things like that. As you know, they're notorious for doing, anyways. So we are actually going to be ripping the motor out. We're actually fixing some rust repair later on as well. The car does have some rust underneath, so we are going to be cutting some of the floor out. So the full interior will be coming out later on this week as well. We're going to be fixing that rust, and then the most important thing is we're going to be rebuilding that motor for more power. Putting a larger turbo kit on it. We're actually going with the G25 Garrett turbo setup on this, and we're also going to be doing our 10th F40 conversion with this as well. So it will
Crazy.
be our second official Viggen F40 swap, but our 10th overall F40.
And also a brand new F40.
Brand new F42. So he's our first official
Yes, sir.
F40. So we and yeah, more or less
Brand new everything.
brand new everything. So the thing that's cool with the brand new F40 is we do have a limited amount of brand new ones still. So we do have availability for anyone that is also interested in brand new. We do sell used rebuilt ones as well. But once those 7 brand new ones we have are gone,
they're gone forever.
Right.
And they're way better too with the upgraded 2012 and up internals as well.
So they are
all that fun stuff.
fully revised with a lot of other components that the older ones do not have. And then the final drive in that is also the 3.7 final drive, which is arguably better than the 335, which is in the traditional diesel F40s from the 2.2 diesel F40 that we use on our other builds. We do currently have like 4 or 5 diesel F40 used boxes in stock as well. So we are going to be
anytime we can find one, we buy it.
Yeah, so we are going to be putting on the website kit options first for the OG 93. We do have about a handful of things that we will see go on the website here relatively soon, and Allison's actively working on redoing the whole website. So our inventory and products that we do make in house are going to start going on there. Downpipes, intercoolers, full turbo kits, all of that stuff. One of the things you'll see first, obviously, go on there is the F40 conversion that is going into this car. So we're going to jump straight into it.
Yes, and I just turned live chat on, so if you guys have any questions at all while we get stuff knocked out, go ahead, ask away. I'll read them out to Cody and Ryan.
Related technically, but try to keep it at least H series since we're working on an H series car. So,
but you can ask pretty much
OG 93, maybe 95 stuff, NG 93 stuff. That's why we're working. We can answer questions, but try to kind of keep it H series at least. So we're gonna go ahead and start draining the fluids first. You're gonna kind of see every step that goes into it. We're gonna take the battery out first. Battery's gonna come out, drain the fluids. Typically, we end up taking the downpipe off first, just obviously in the way of the subframe before we drop the subframe. And then as we go through all the other little tidbits of things, charge pipe, all that stuff, all of it's going to come out. Everything's going to come out of the car regardless, since we are doing some other things, some rust repair.
We have 7 people watching. Woo!
So we're going to go ahead and knock this out. And like I said, feel free. Something else I'll point out too, the AC has already been discharged as well. So there's no AC currently in the system. So there's no fluid in here. So the system has been depressurized already. Coolant and oil will be draining. We have not done that. Other than that, we're gonna get to it. I'll go over some of the tools and stuff we use too, some of our favorites and some of the pointers.
We're Milwaukee snobs. Gear wrench, Milwaukee, Snap-on, some Snap-on things. Let's see. Ron's currently working on getting the battery out. Shoo.
Got a discharge. So if you don't have a pair of Nipex, these are literally for getting any type of hose clamp thing. There are other tools, but the Nipex I always find it worked the best. They're kind of one of my favorite go-to tools, but that's preference. They tend to work just a little better as a whole. getting these off. They're just kind of a pain in the butt as a whole.
They're a good tool to have for sure. Batteries out.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Batteries out. Yeah, the motor drop on an OG93, especially if you have 2 helping hands, is pretty quick actually, so you guys will witness that. Look at that extension combo.
Yeah. I had round.
The long john. The long john.
So now we are pretty. I hate to say this, but it's honestly the truth. We don't technically have to stay very organized when taking these apart. We actually just take all the bolts more or less and put them in a bin.
Cody
With
has
other-
them memorized.
with other cars, we typically have a little tray that we'll put them on, but with these in particular, it's Ryan and I both literally. You show us a bolt, we can pretty much tell you where it goes and what it's for. Whether it be the 11 millimeter that's on the little shield that's on the transmission, or whether it be the 13s that hold the brake bracket on.
You can pretty much give Cody any bolt on a Viggen and he pretty much knows what it is.
So we know these very well. We do
So does
these
Ryan.
so frequently. So in G93s and OG93s, we do the most here.
Yeah, Ron, how many OG93s have you worked on? God.
I mean, I would have
A
to say at least
cajillion?
over 50. Like that's probably
Yeah, and that's like full overhauls, not just basic maintenance.
Yeah.
Basic maintenance probably hundreds. So
yeah. Motor builds it. I'd probably say I'm just at 20 now.
yep. Yeah, Ryan himself has built 20 H series motors, which is pretty insane, honestly. 10 in the past year alone, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Absolutely.
So
Cameron's was the most recent.
yes, sir. Shout out to Cameron. Your car is finally out of the shop. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and we just had Cameron's car that lived here for a while, but he had some issues with that. So
A very poorly made exhaust manifold.
yeah, another build, which that is what it is. But we also just completed one of our personal cars that we're actually sadly selling, but it's actually on the other lift. But it's
Beautiful.
Flight Academy.
You guys will notice something about it. No sunroof. Shoo!
Look at that. So we already PB blasted the exhaust downpipes. These bolts always like to be a pain in the ass. Now, something that I also like to point out: if you have an H3 Saab and you have not experienced this, you haven't owned enough of them or haven't owned one long enough. But if you look right here on the exhaust studs, Steven had a broken exhaust stud here, and then the one that's over on that corner usually breaks as well. That one's actually still there, but
You got a light.
But who knows? It might be loose.
it was just true.
It's just sitting there.
So, as you can see, this one is completely.
I don't know how the quality
So,
is, but
This exhaust gasket also
yeah. Crusworth.
is completely done.
Oh, nice. There, Ron's got the good light.
Yeah, not good. That's
Yeah.
cool.
You love broken exhaust studs.
Yeah, we do at least one a week. So normally when you drop the motor, you don't necessarily have to take the manifold and stuff off, but just kind of showing that those are problematic. Everyone knows it. Getting away from the standard hardware is crucial. Some people will argue this point is, utilizing that longer stud for the heat shield. There's pros and cons to having the heat shield, so it's kind of a preference. Yes, technically you're going to want to wrap the manifold or do something with the manifold if you are going to like a higher boosted application. But 9 times out of 10, we're changing the manifold out anyways.
Yep.
The manifold is actually restrictive. Once you get to about 400 brake horsepower,
You should just go to
the
the
manifold it becomes your choke point. So if you're on a 19T or maybe like a 20G on a stock frame TD04, you can get away with running it. However, you usually do want to port that intersection out and go to like a T7 or sorry, a 7 centimeter housing or 8 centimeter housing on the actual TD04 itself. But if you just take the stock turbo in its stock form on the stock car and you do a revision and actually tune for, let's say, a basic, we'll call it 300 horse tune, running a tubular manifold will actually guarantee you usually between 10 to 20 brake horsepower. So for 10 horsepower for just throwing a manifold on, I think that's
Yes,
pretty.
and it makes the engine bay look better.
Yeah, and it lowers your EGTs, makes the car more reliable. There's a lot of
Yep.
reasons why to
We
get.
got it. Okay, so Steve asked, "Did you guys find the source of the boost leaks? Like, where are the common places that these cars leak?"
They leak everywhere, but I'll show you. I'll show you where the most common places. You have a lot of just crusty stuff, Steven. I'll be honest.
Lots of bad boost lines.
So this one right here is definitely leaking. So it's kind of hard to tell
Can you
back
shine your
here.
light, Ron?
Yeah.
Your fancy light.
I'll take the charge pipe off, Steven, just so you can see a little
Yeah.
easier.
Here, take this.
I'll
And
take.
then that tower likes to leak as well.
So if you go see that red thing back there, there's an O-ring in there that's as hard as a rock. So that leaks. And then this right here, this tower that's right here, this where these two lines are going in, this tower right here, kind of hard to see. That tower, there's an O-ring on there that likes to leak as well. But something else that it will check when we are in here, just because we're here now, we end up deleting it, but this check valve right here, these fail. So what's known as the bolt mod, you take this line off that goes to the BPC here, and then you actually put the bolt actually in this section and cap that off essentially by sticking a bolt in the recirc.
Yes,
Um,
bolt mod.
if that has failed, it doesn't do it. But we actually delete this whole system 9 times out of 10. So on Steven, which we've talked, we're going to delete a lot of stuff on your car that's not needed. So another thing we bypass is this solenoid up here. This solenoid up here is problematic and can cause issues, but we actually will bypass this altogether. So that will still remain in the car, but we'll bypass the lines that are on there altogether. So that will get bypassed. Something else we do, unless you're like in Sweden or somewhere where it gets really cold, these coolant lines that go to the throttle body, we actually will bypass, delete those as well. It's one less thing to fail, but B, it actually decreases your intake temps as well. So that's another advantage. So we actually bypass that as well. Something else.
When you're not in the subarctic temperatures.
Right. And um,
That's here.
Here, Sean. I'm like, try
This guy.
Future.
Okay, and then somebody said, "Hey guys, we need another road trip video also." Well, perfect that you say that because we actually have the final video with the Viggen, with the yellow Viggen. We picked up all the final totals. If we actually were able to do it under $5,000.
Yep.
Also, we actually picked up another video
Yeah, so we actually have
that we filmed the
we have
process.
videos coming out this week. Allison is actively editing.
Yeah.
So those are coming out this week. So the final video for the road trip Monte Carlo yellow car, that final video, the tallies and all that goes out this week. And then we
After
have
that, another Viggen.
another car, or yeah, I guess we'll
We
just
said
say
Viggen. and
another
yeah.
Viggen. As we have another Viggen that we actually did. Not to give too much away, there's some other circumstances that we give ourselves or another scenario.
You guys will find out in
But
the
you'll
video
find
that's
out. So
released.
we have that going on, and then we're actively going to be leaving for a third one.
Oh my
another
gosh.
car for another adventure across the country.
It never ends.
So we'll actually be uploading another one, and we're trying to upload one of those videos every month, arguably. Now that we've got enough of it filmed, so we're kind of how should I say, backdating a lot of content that we have
We have
filmed.
so much stuff filmed.
So
Insane.
we have multiple other cars. We actually have a trip for meeting another customer. One of our customers is that fully built car that just left the shop. We're actually meeting up with him and San Diego. So we're gonna be doing a drive back from San Diego potentially as well with a car. And then we are also going to be driving back from Idaho. So we have two other
Bunch of stuff planned.
trips planned
And then other stuff filmed.
and other stuff filmed.
So stay tuned.
We have multiple videos.
Somebody said unbolt the motor mounts and rip it out out of the top with the transmission still on. Work like a dream for me and save me lots of time.
So we actually have done if you are going to remove the motor,
Rod, can't just rip it out.
if you're going to remove the motor from the top, you can do that. And especially on OG93s versus a Viggen, it's a little easier. And the reason why is the brake booster itself does kind of get in the way. So you do pop this brake booster off. That's one thing that slightly gets in the way when you're putting the motor up and down. So if you remove that, that does help. The other thing is if you remove the harmonic balancer on the outside of the motor, you can angle it and bring it out to the top.
So you did mine.
Yeah. Say,
Yeah, Brian literally just did that a week
Took the
ago.
hood off as well.
yeah, so we always take the
Yeah.
hood off if we do that. But if you have a lift, it is substantially quicker to just drop it. We can literally, if Ryan and I, obviously we're doing it live, so it's gonna take us a little longer because we're actually talking and doing stuff. But if we're in the grind mode, Ryan and I are doing it together, it's a couple hours. So to drop the motor out of the car quickly and effectively, it's usually actually quicker for us to not pull it from the top.
And then Jay said, "Why is the engine still in the car, guys?" Sir, what is this video titled? It's titled "Engine Removal."
It just started.
Oh, he said, "I'm pulling my motor from the top, but just the block and trans should be pretty easy." Oh yeah, because your head is off right now,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, that 9.5 turd that you got
Yeah.
and blew up.
Yeah.
The previous owner blew up. That'll be a cool
Something
car.
else too, with these cars as a whole, the BPCs are problematic. So, which I think Steve and I we talked about. I don't know if we opted for this build, which we probably will now that you're watching, Steven, if you're paying attention. The BPCs, Steve, not Steven, sorry, Steve. These are problematic, the BPCs on these. So we just switched to a Mac valve, and it's honestly the wiring is pretty straightforward. So
Jace, that shit was blown before. Ask Ron to see the picture, show the stream, and they'll get a laugh out of it. Oh yeah. Well, we can show it here soon, sir. Yeah, I know Ron told us a little bit about the car. How it's fucked up. Oops, sorry. Oops. I don't know if that's a lot. I did put this video is not for kids because I knew I would cuss at some point.
This
This video is not for children. Sorry, everyone. We're potty mouths.
adults here.
Potty mouths.
Shop mouth.
Yeah, but the car that Jace picked up, that's actually one of our customers. He has a 2008 NG93 that's pretty heavily modified with us. Pretty cool side exit, custom exhaust, and all that fun stuff. He just picked up a manual 9.5 Aero that the timing was off, and sadly, valves hit pistons, all that fun stuff. So he's going to be building that car, make it a fun car for his wife, which will be sick. So
Super good.
manual Aero 9.5, we love them, but.
They're good.
Needless to say, that'll be a cool build when it's done.
I took my tool.
Okay, so what are we currently working on now, boys?
I'm still taking the wiring off. He's
Yeah, so
taking other
it's
bits.
a 9.5. It's if you're pulling one of these motors in a 9.5, you actually can leave the wiring harness on the motor. It's actually quicker. So you actually just take the ECU plug from underneath the cowling with the motor. But on an OG93, it's actually quicker to leave the harness in the car or on the car and undo all of the wiring solely for the fact that the ECU to pull the wiring through the firewall, that's kind of a pain in the ass. So we typically will take the wiring harness off on OG93s, 9.5s, we leave it on. So a little bit of different approaches, but more or less still the same process when it comes to the wiring side of things. They're almost identical wiring harnesses. The only real difference at the end of the day is depending on the year, OG93 or 99, they did change the map sensor plug is slightly different, and the ambient air temperature slash secondary map sensor, as we'll call it, that is located here actually gets moved to the charge pipe. So both of those technically are slightly different on the wiring harness.
Somebody said, "How do you convert the boost solenoid to a Mac valve? Do you have to mess with trionic tuning?"
Nope. You actually do not have to do anything. So essentially, you just wire in your two wires. You can either do a custom plug. We opt to offer that when someone buys a Mac valve from us. We can actually have a plug and play. But most people just opt to just say screw it and solder in the wires themselves. So when you solder it in, it's literally wire for wire, and you just once again, this is preference. Every state has different compliance when it comes to EPA and stuff like that. But if you're in a state that it doesn't really matter if you're essentially, we'll say EPA compliant, the bypass valve, you can use the Mac valve to run the recirculation valve portion of it or the recirculation line. But we usually actually just delete that whole section off the system. Very similar to how they deleted if '06 and up, for example, in the Dames, they actually deleted that and actually just route the recirculation back into the back of the Cobra pipe. So we do the same thing on the OG93s is we'll actually put a Mac valve in and we'll actually have it bit to atmosphere more or less and not reuse that recirculation valve. Or if we do reuse the recirculation portion, we'll actually put it just in the back of the Cobra pipe as if it was an '06 and update. So very, very simple, very straightforward. And you can also, something else, if you are uh, wanting to do, you can actually run the T8 valve too. So if you, let's just hypothetically say you have a bunch of the T8 valves. So a lot of people are unfamiliar with this, but when the H series motor design was sold to China in BIAC, I can never say it right, BIAC, whatever the hell it is. And that motor, the H series motor is actually still being used today as a B230 1R in an off-road Chinese like terrain Jeep looking thing. I don't know what the hell you call it, but there's a B231, B236 Rs that are still utilizing the H series motor design. It's a little different oil pan and stuff, but it's different. But on those cars, they actually utilize the T8 valve. So the T8 valve, and arguably, once again, it's just a simple, 2-wire plug. You can put a T8 valve on it.
Yep, and we have piles of
Yeah.
T8 valves.
Well, we used to.
Oh,
Not-
until all the cars, until they went bad on all of them.
Yeah.
Jay said, if it's running good, I'll be down in January with it. We can dial in the tune. I, if I can't, we can do it over the phone.
Yeah, we can do mail-in too. As always, we can do mail-in ECUs. We get pretty close to accurate, and then you're gonna get obviously a pro tune and live tune we can talk about.
Oh, Caden. Caden's currently swapping a subframe on a 9.3 Aero wagon. Fun stuff. Yeah,
Crusty.
it's a crusty one. Car is completely rust free, but the subframe is not. So you know how that goes. Oh, I was saying if we cannot dial it through the phone, he can bring. I guess he means bring it to us.
Yeah, and if it's anything a 19T or smaller, we have tuned so many. I think at this point we've tuned over 1,000 people. And I mean it's gotten crazy how many people we've tuned at this point, but we pretty much have every map dialed in for 20G and down, pretty much at 10 to 20 per customer on some other weird turbo setups too. But if, HX35 things like that, we've had multiple people with same setups. But for a 19T,
Sorry.
we have done at this point 30, 40 19T builds just in the last couple of years. So it's just gotten to the point that we kind of have all that dialed in to where you can pretty much get it, I would say, pretty close to accurate without doing a live tune. But live tune's always the way to go. You're gonna get the most bang for your buck from performance wise, and you're gonna have it catered specifically to your car. So whether you get it on the dyno here or just doing road tuning, it's kind of it is the way to go.
Amen.
So I'm gonna be getting the fuel lines off with a quick disconnect tool. They're pretty straightforward. So there's gonna be a little bit of fuel pressure in here, but they're little rubber grommets on here. You just push those down, and once those are pushed down, then you can just push the fuel lines off. Pretty straightforward. Not anything crazy.
See, and then somebody said, "Are you guys doing a frame off resto restoration?" I would assume
So this car in particular,
partial restoration. I'd say.
this is a partial. So the whole interior is coming out, carpet, subframe, all that is coming off. So anywhere that we see rust, that is what we'll call it cancerous, is
Yes.
being cut out and put it in. So something that's really common in the OG 93s. We'll have to, when we have the car up in the air, we'll look underneath. I'll show you some of that stuff here in a minute. The thing that's crazy with the spare tire wells in these cars is they just completely just disintegrate. And it's really funny. We actually picked up we had I think it was a Viggen. It was either a Viggen or a 9.5 actually. I can't remember. One of the cars that we had, because 9.5s are notorious for it as well too. We were actually driving in the spare tire.
Oh, that was the 9.5.
Actually came out while we were driving.
That, yeah.
Rust was so bad.
That was that silver 9.5 Aero.
Yeah. So it's in Steven's car's pretty close to being sketchy. It's like if you were
Crazy because as you guys probably saw in the picture, this car looks incredibly clean. Like you would never expect it to have look at this thing. And it just comes back to Steve took care of it, but obviously where he lives did not.
he's from Connecticut.
Yep. But this car is crazy clean, but it definitely has some cancerous rust present for sure. Somebody said, "You guys rock. Maybe someday I'll bring my 9.3 over from Cocoa Beach. Heard you guys are figuring out a dyno setup." Yes, we actually do have a dyno. So
we are waiting on a custom bracketing system essentially for it. But so we do have a dyno. We are going to be doing a lot of content with that later.
yeah, it's a dyno tech dyno.
So the thing is that it is a movable dyno. It's not a hub dyno, but it is a movable dyno, so we can move it around the shop, which is really nice. We're going to be doing probably 3 or 4 extensive videos of kind of like what does a stock baseline tune look like, then what is a stage 3-ish or
Experimental videos.
yeah,
So you guys
just
different
kind of
setups.
the difference what our tunes and what
Live
parts
tuning,
do.
some tuning lessons.
Something else that's really kind of cool that we want to do too is offer it to where we can show you what a stock like 19T, like a stock 12 blade torque curve looks like versus a 9 or a 5x5 on those turbos. So we've got a lot of really cool ideas that we want to get going. Our biggest
Just
problem,
not enough time of the day.
a lot of problem is it's growing pains. So we are trying to find our another employee as we speak to bring in another full time to kind of help us direct some things. And then we're actually talking with someone that's also going to be helping us get the website going. So downpipes, intercoolers, all that stuff. Like I said, we're going to have all that on the website very soon. Um, downpipes was always kind of like a touchy subject, but now pretty much they've just federalized, legalized that you no longer need EPA compliant uh, things on the federal level. So now, from the tuning aspect, we're going to offer everything that we've been offering.
Everything under the sun.
Before it was kind of
Our website is kind of cruddy right now, but we definitely need
we do have a couple
get on it.
OG93s in particular. We're going to be offering a full bolt-on downpipe and hot side. So a couple. I think Samuel and he actually.
Oh yeah, Sam Eliezer, yeah.
He had
a steel gray Viggen. We built his motor, transmission,
and turbo and all that stuff and transmission. We did a 3-inch V band on his. That's been almost a year ago now, but
yeah, he's been.
so we've actually made multiple 3-inch V bands straight off the turbo. So we're actually selling the hot side with a 3-inch on it. And we've been doing that for a couple of years now, and it just is primarily for noise. It's performance, yes, it is definitely there. But honestly, you should just get away from a TD04 as a whole. But if you are like, hey, I want to keep stock location, you can even run like a G25 in the stock location on a tubular manifold if you're like trying to, kind of
sleeper build,
yeah,
kind of trying to show the engine bay.
But having that 3-inch V band, it really makes the noise that much better. So that's primarily why we did it.
Yeah, but as you can tell, this engine bay is a little crusty, but it's not gonna look like that when it leaves here. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be really nice. Alrighty, what's the next step?
So we're taking fuel lines off because Ron had my quick disconnect tool. I had the wrong side. So we're gonna take the fuel lines off, and then once the fuel lines are off, we're gonna lift the car up, start draining.
And there's just the ground for the alternator and the power line for the alternator and ground and power line for the starter.
Nice.
Just need to get those off. And then that's all the wiring. Then the wire can be put to the side and just drain the coolants and take the subframe off.
True.
Yeah,
Table underneath and drop the motor and transmission out.
It's always really cool to see what the inside of these motors look like too. Especially with this being the original motor, and we're a couple 100,000 miles on the car.
It'll be exciting.
It'll be cool to see. And we always tell people, so this is an argument we get with some people sometimes, is some people argue with us that 6,000 miles or 5,000 miles is enough on the oil changes. I just
nope.
On these motors,
Turbocharged
if you are religious and you do oil changes every 3,500 miles, the car will last that.
Gosh, yeah, there was just a post in one of the Saab groups. It went pretty viral, and it was, "What's the highest mileage on your stock motor Saab?" And somebody posted a B205 that they serviced. Gosh, I can't remember who posted it. Anyways, that car had what, 400,000 miles, original timing chain, all that stuff, and they literally did 3,500-mile oil changes, and the car lived forever. And obviously, they had no power pushed on it because B205s, they like to blow up. Stock car, original timing chain, frequent oil changes, 400,000 miles, which is insane. Goes to show how reliable the H series motors are.
Yeah, they're really. That's also why we
to keep up with.
That's also why we drive halfway across the country, drive back, because we honestly trust them.
Yep. That's
very,
true.
Very few cars that I trust to do that with, but H series shot motor, and honestly, B207, even the NG93, B207.
Oh my gosh, okay. I hate to say this, but we have so many customers with B207s. They're absolutely ragged.
Just 300,000 miles. They're like, how is this car? We actually
somehow living
NG95 customer with 300,000 miles on.
That car was crazy.
Put a new motor in it, but we literally the car came in. And we're like,
but the motor isn't what failed. It was the Chinese Ching Chong turbo that was on it.
But we were like, how it had every leak. You name a leak.
Oh my god, this car was wet.
Rear main seal, front main seal, head gasket, turbo blown.
Ron loved working on this
car.
car.
Still dry.
He was pissed.
I got in the coal mine.
It's so fun. So funny.
Yeah, that car was pretty bad. That's for sure.
Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and lift the car up. We're going to drain our fluid.
Oh dang! Jay's shitting on his own brother. He said Kyler's car is such a piece of shit. He does not do his oil changes. Dang, Kyler, if you're watching too.
Blow up.
Yeah, your car's gonna blow up if you don't do your oil changes, sir, and you can even do them yourself. Oh yeah, yeah. His girlfriend does have a G-Wagon, so he's driving that instead of the Saab. Oh man, but Kyler's car, that's a pretty nice car. It's manual, although manual's good. Yeah, Jace, your brother has a manual NG93. It made
You probably have a blown up manual car.
Oh
Your
man.
manual's no better.
I've told him that like 15 times. He doesn't care. It's also got a blown tire right now. Yeah, he just told me about that his tire is wearing unevenly, so it's most likely one of his suspension components. Let's see. Dang! My B205R is almost at 200,000 miles and it has 20,000 miles on a 19T. E85 is my saving grace.
Yeah, so funny story.
Okay, on oil changes.
Funny story about E85. So, perfect example. So why E85 is great. So Ryan actually, for his daily,
The motor's right over there.
we literally it got to the point that he had pretty much no compression. His valves were toast in his daily driver. So the compression was
And the
getting
ring.
so bad, and the rings on cylinder 3 were also done. So cylinder 3 as a whole was just failing. Car would not run and drive at all. Like could not barely stay. But then we switched him to an E file, and literally the car would then barely run. So it's just funny getting him on E85 thing. It actually
Saved the
allowed him
car.
to keep driving a
Yes.
little bit longer until he's able to stop the motor.
Somebody a while ago said, "What's your thoughts on this?" So I would assume maybe on reliability of the H series motor, perhaps, is what they're asking.
Say that again.
Somebody just said, "What's your thoughts on that?" I would assume it's about the H series motor reliability because that's what it's. Yeah, I think so.
So this is what I will tell you. So I have seen bone stock H series motors that have had religious oil changes. And mind you, it's crazy to say this, but I'm coming up on 20 years now that I've been working on OG 93s, which is I can't believe I'm saying that. It's just
Certified onk.
yeah, it's crazy to think that my
Saab
first
onk.
car being an OG 93, I bought it when I was 15. So it's crazy that's been actually it's over 20 years at this point.
Phew!
But or close to 20 years. I should say it's almost 20 years. I
Wait, yeah, you're 37?
yeah.
Dang, and you got it when you're 15?
Yeah.
That's 22
It's
years.
22 years. Okay, I didn't I did math the wrong way. Yeah, so I've had him for a while. So I have seen
Stop onk.
so many H series Saab motors, especially
How's that begin-
B204 motors in particular,
Oh,
with over
God.
300,000 miles on original everything.
Oh, yeah.
So are they reliable? Yes. If the person who owns the car is religious on oil changes. If you are not religious on your oil changes on these cars, they're done.
Oh, yeah, we've seen them sludged up, blow up at 90,000
E205s
miles.
arguably are usually the least reliable, and the reason why I say that is they're the least reliable because A, the exhaust camshaft is
Oh,
trash.
that's a terrible
But
cam.
two is people that typically have B205 cars, and mind you, this is United States, so that means they're only B205 only came in the OG 93 in the United States. The rest of the world had the B205 also in the 95. But with us here in the United States, all the B205, the OG 93s, they're always just people that have had them, and they see them as a beater. It's not usually enthusiasts. Where Viggens usually are owned by enthusiasts. So all the Viggens we see, the motors typically actually are in better shape, have higher mileage, things like
Yeah,
that.
we see high mileage ones that look brand new on
Yeah,
that
but
side.
OG 93s typically we see more.
But now more enthusiasts are buying B205s.
So the B205 is the better motor forged, arguably.
If you guys watch our rod ratio video.
But the B235R, if you want that low end torque, you're not trying to make copious amounts of power, then it does make more sense. But I would say B235Rs are not reliable. And this is why I say this is because the pistons, even on stock, if you have massive boost leaks, for example, we bought a Viggen from Montana, I don't know, 5 years
Oh
ago.
gosh, little old lady Viggen. Yeah,
Yeah.
that only had 90,000
Final
miles.
lady only had 90,000 miles on it, stock motor blown. And what actually kills the B235R
Holding timing.
is 95 or OG93s, even B205s as well, is when you have extreme altitude changes. So whether you're in Colorado, Montana, places like that, and let's say you actually have a really bad boost leak or your BPC has failed, and you're doing aggressive acceleration up and down altitude changes like that, the car cannot add fuel like a normal car. The way Saab designed it was to pull timing. So when it's pulling that timing and you're going up and down, it can only pull 20 degrees of time. Anything past that, it can't do. So you can only pull 20 degrees of time. If you're already maxed out and you've already pulled your 20 degrees of timing and you're still romping on a thing and it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter, you just detonate a piston.
Yeah. Somebody also said torque kills, not horsepower.
This is So it depends.
Torque kills transmission.
Yeah. Torque kills components, horsepower kills internals, is what I always like to say. So torque is going to kill your Viggen axles, your transmission, things like that. Horsepower typically is killing your motor if you're not properly tuning for knock, which we see that a lot of times people when they do tune. They're going for this crazy horsepower number, and then the knock counter will be going up crazy, like, and then they're going for this magic horsepower number on a dyno just to prove, oh, my car's making 1,000 horsepower, and they're not paying attention to that knock count, and then they end up fucking detonating.
Yeah, and then also I forgot to say, Jay said he got a manual because I told him he's getting a manual. No other options for him.
Yeah.
Dude, truth. Manual leaders jerks. That's what we are. That's why you need a manual convert your car, sir. Now you got the manual 9.5. You need the manual NG 9.3 as well. It's true. Manual conversion. Yeah, because his car's pretty clean actually. So it's worth doing a manual conversion on. Alrighty, and then somebody said B207R rules. 2008 NG93 204 19T biopower file, 186,000 miles. My 2003 linear had 230,000 miles, got wrecked. Dang.
Yeah, so the B207s, if we're talking stock for stock, of a B235R versus a B207, yeah, the B207 is a better motor. The B207, arguably, and people are going to hate me for saying this, but it's true. The B207 slash LSJ, same motor more or less. The only difference is a couple millimeters on the intake and ports. The LSJ, B207, those from the factory, the motor, we're not talking anything attached to the motor. That motor will do 400 to 450 wheel horsepower. It will. The B235 is lucky to do 350 horse on E for more than a few weeks. The highest we've gotten one to last for 3 months, we had a B235 on E stock pistons make right around 350 brake. It was just under 3 months before it detonated a piston. So they are weaker pistons. Now, what I will tell you though is the B207 as a whole, stock for stock, is better. But if you modify both of them, they're equally as good. So I would tell you B235R is going to be better torque wise. It's obviously no replacement for displacement. If you're talking just B204 versus LSJ, though, if we go something older, B204 is superior. B204 is going to be a way better motor than the LSJ or the B207. And the reason I say that is the current record on a B204 stock bottom is, we're not talking cams being swapped out or valve springs.
Is it
It's
Crank?
over 700.
Crank has that, right? Crankworks, does he?
No, he's not. He doesn't have the.
I thought
A couple people.
I know his
There's a couple
Corsa is like.
Frank works over in the UK that
Yeah.
are over 700 on stock motors. But there is a guy actually in Sweden.
He's the legend with those swaps
Yeah,
over there.
there's some really cool
Awesome
stuff.
guy.
So we're essentially doing some similar stuff here. With some of the builds that we're doing. So we got a couple compound setups figured out. We had the death cart back together. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. We did have the death cart back together. We actually revved the motor out to 10,000, lifted the head on the stock T5 gasket. So now
This guy,
now we're
this
putting-
guy.
we're
No we here, buddy.
a better head
We
gasket.
were raising a Hellcat on the highway.
Yeah, so we're putting a
Yeah,
head gasket in,
happened.
so it'll be back on the road in about a week or so. The death cart, and that's set up right now. It's a GTX 35. It's set up technically for 600 to 700 brake. We've got it detuned for like 450, 500 wheel. I'd say closer to 450. It's sketchy as fuck, which in a good way.
Yeah, what is the limit on a stock B205? Somebody asked. What is this B205 limit? Everyone says 300 or more horsepower makes it fail, but mine's been chugging fine. Mine's been fine past 20,000 miles with a 19T.
So B20. So wait. So you have a 19T on a B205. First of all,
I think
okay.
that's the person. Yes, yeah.
That's okay to do a B
on E85.
Yeah, that's okay to do a 19T on a stock B235 or B204.
B205.
B205, oh, I'm sorry, or a B235. You can run a 19T on. Actually, one of our employees, Hayden, he actually has a B205 with a 19T on it as well. It's very detuned though. So the problem with putting a 19T on a B205 or B235 without doing forged pistons is you're not taking full advantage of that turbo. So essentially, you're adding lag to the car and not gaining any power. So I would actually personally either do a 15T or a 16T with a 7 or 8 centimeter housing and max that out. And I'll be honest, even not doing a larger exhaust side, you're going to max out that motor with the stock 15T. The stock 15T, whether it be B235 or B205, you're going to get right around.
What would you say?
330 horse on E.
Yeah.
That's max. And that is like, that's hot.
Yeah.
So, and the most important thing, if you really want to max one out safely, watch your EGTs. Make sure your EGTs are staying around 950. I mean, 950 degrees Celsius is kind of sweet spot. 1,000, you're starting to get questionable. Anything over 1,000, like 1050, things like that, you're just asking for melted
Yeah,
piston.
somebody said early torque kills rods and pistons, especially if you spool too early
Right.
and request in at 1500 RPM.
Correct.
Oh yeah, for
So
early torque is bad.
early torque is always bad for sure. That's you're not wrong, and especially if you're talking one of the shittier rod ratios. So like a B204 earlier torque, I'd argue you could probably get away with it on the B204 or the B205. The B235 and the B234, you definitely do not want to make more torque sooner. So we actually try to tell our customers to push the other way. So whether it be just putting T5 cams in it or even some B202 cams, making that rev range
Good
and that power
perfect.
band go all the way towards the top or more towards the top or in the mid range, that's crucial for reliability, but also makes your drivetrain components that much happier.
Wheels are coming off next.
So something else that we're actively doing on the death cart right
NASCAR. Vroom, 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 vroom.
on the death cart, we're actually doing a first one off. So we're actually doing a completely different coilover. We had a coilover kit on it that wasn't ideal. So our
Not ideal.
not ideal at all. So we're doing a completely new design. So we're actually using the larger 9.5 axles and hub on our death car, or OG93 more or less. And the biggest issue you're actually having with the Viggens in particular is the transmissions are shit and the actual in portion of the axle. So if you were to look at, I've got one over here somewhere, an actual Viggen axle. So this is the end of a Viggen axle here. What actually happens is this actually snaps. So this portion of the axle is what actually breaks once you get, arguably you start to get upwards to 450, 500 wheel. These actually start to break. Now you can, put a new one in there and it'll last so long, but this becomes problematic. So we're actually now trying to figure out how can we go to a larger axle, which we've effectively started doing on the death cart. So we're going to go to the larger 0295 axle instead, which will help alleviate that problem. So with OG93s, we're kind of
Uh-oh, unplug the fan. I'm gonna die.
oh
Also, Steve asked if we did a compression test on the engine. We did not do a
nope.
compression test, but also whenever I started it, whenever we were moving into the shop today, it started so rough, which probably indicates low cold compression.
Yeah, so there's no point really
It's
doing
at that mileage.
a test just because we know it's lower. It's not bad, but it's definitely low. So I'll be able to literally look at everything we have it apart and just see if everything's sitting as it's supposed to. The thing that's really crucial is seeing what the cross hatching looks like in actual cylinder walls, which we're doing a bore over anyways with the mileage. There's no way cross hatching is good enough. And for anyone watching this, if your car is over 100,000 miles, regardless if you have cross hatching or not, I would tell you
Just do a bore
just do a
over.
bore over.
Then you have the
Peace
sanity and
peace of mind.
the peace of
And
mind.
yep.
They're gonna be
Listen to this guy.
oil everywhere, and it won't be
Yeah,
good.
so he just did rings on his daily, and he got away with it for about a year, and then the cross hatching was still there, wasn't quite enough. The motor had right around like 109, I think, that was originally in his car as it started out, because he's actually got an OG93, but it's fully swapped for B204, so it's running a full B204
Yeah.
in a T7.
Yeah, and then Jay said you can make 1,000 horsepower on these cars, but there's no point because you can't put the power down for shit.
That's not true. So you can put the power down, you just gotta go all-wheel drive. So you just gotta have the pockets.
Yeah, that's
So
what he's talking about is front wheel drive
So
stuff
we
when you're
are
power.
planning on so the all-wheel drive Viggen that we have. I know everyone. It's kind of
Everybody's talking about it.
everyone talks about where's it at, what's it doing, whatever.
It's in the back.
It does exist still. It is very much a real car. The thing is, I'll be honest, we've taken it completely apart. We're actively redoing all of it the way that we originally should have done it. And once the current batch of cars that we're working on, we have another car that we're working on that you guys don't know exists yet. But when that car goes public, the all-wheel drive Viggen is actually going to put back on the lift and together. But we actually have developed and changed a few things with a couple adapter plates that we have been doing. But so we're actually currently working currently working with the machine shop, since we sold our machine shop. We used to have a machine shop briefly, but then we actually sold it all when we moved. So we're actually working with a machine shop right now. We're making a new custom adapter plate based off of a couple other designs that we've kind of changed at Crankworks, similar to what he was doing. And we are actively using that for a true bolt-on all-wheel drive setup. So that is going to be not cheap by any means. So we're actually redesigning the rear, the way that we did the first two. We've done two all-wheel drive Viggens now. The first two all-wheel drive Viggens. The first one was the lever rear end, which was not really ideal. And then the second one, we actually took the back portion of an Audi and just welded it in the car. So we're going to be doing a third setup now, where we're actually going to be redesigning a true independent rear end that is bolt onable for all-wheel drive. Now, the downside of that, it will be a custom fuel tank and a bunch of other things, but that is our end goal.
Wow, the underneath of this Viggen bumper is in pretty good shape. Dang. Good job, Steve. Look at what.
This is how crusty the bolts.
Oh shoot, just threw my phone.
The crusty nut.
Hard to see. Dang it, can't really see. Sorry, guys. The live camera doesn't. Oh yeah, there you go. You can kind of see it.
For crust.
Crusty on the alternator.
Yeah.
This is what we
Crusty.
here.
Oh, Buzzword.
This is what happens. So what actually is going to happen, instead of just cutting out a new one, we're actually going to be cutting. Steve has essentially told us what he wanted to do, but we also kind of agree. What we typically do is we actually cut this out and actually just make this flat. And the reason why we do this flat is it saves weight, which we are all about power to weight ratio.
Yes,
But
sir.
two, it actually makes the trunk usable, because what ends up
And
is this
two.
gets all like smushy and
And
the
track
back gets
system in there,
deformed and
yeah.
it looks like shit.
You just
So
want it to be
we
flat.
like cutting these out and just
Make
making it
flat.
flat. And then as you can see, everything else is really crusty. So he actually is doing a full custom coilover kit. So it'll be full coilovers in the rear.
You really?
We're gonna talk with him. We're probably gonna end up replacing this with a non-crusty one, or
Yeah, we
refurbishing
definitely
this one. This one's really rough.
I was gonna say it doesn't even look worth refurbishing. Actually, look at that.
We'll probably just get a rusty one put in the car.
Oh,
So this is probably gonna.
that's pretty
This is
voodoo.
pretty sure this is an upgraded rear sway bar, obviously
Yeah.
thicker, but we have no idea if it's which brand it is. But if I had to bet, it's probably Talfaro. But it might be A-Bot. It could also be. That's crazy. It's hard to
Pretty
say.
Cruzworth back here.
But so some of the other parts that are really problematic, if you look, this car's actually.
Oh wait, what? That's
These-
actually a
these are-
surprise.
these are
Usually these are rusted out.
He does have spots like this, so
Oh yeah.
you can see his carpet here. So we are
Look
we are gonna
at
have
the side.
to cut that out. Up here, you're starting to get some of this is notorious in this area. So
Yep.
this actually may not need to be cut out. This actually may be just, this might be.
Yeah, and the worst part is most of the time this happens because somebody jacked the car up from right
Yep.
here.
And you'll see it a lot of times too, is this,
yeah,
these
it's
little,
always-
this patch here usually is screwed. But we're gonna go under here, and anywhere that there is rust coming through to where the carpet is, like this right here is pretty bad. Same thing. This is gonna get, cut out and rewelded in. So it's, wherever the rust needs to be repaired, we're gonna be repairing the rust. And this is nowhere near as bad. We actually have another Viggen. Actually, we have 3 Viggens inside the shop right now. All 3 actually lightning blues. The one, we have one over in the corner on the other side of the shop that the holes in that we had to cut out, like the whole floor is gone. The car had no rust other than a few spots on the floor, so it makes no sense. So we're gonna be
It's crazy. You definitely don't expect
this
it.
car for being from Connecticut, it's in way better shape than I would have thought.
Oh god, we've bought so many Cruzworth Viggens.
So there's like all this isn't really that bad. This is definitely all gonna be savable. This is nowhere near as bad. And
Yeah,
Steve
it
actually,
would be way worse.
talked to me on the phone for a while, about 6 months ago, and we were just talking about how bad the rust was or wasn't, and I'm like, it's very savable.
Very
He
safe.
was contemplating on not saving the car, fixing the rust. And
He said the underside of the bumper is good because I crashed it a few years back.
Oh, this is definitely be changed.
Well, good. You've kept up
Yeah.
with it.
Look how small that is.
we're not doing this.
Oh,
What is that?
Baby.
Baby filter.
Baby peeing. So we'll make sure you get the proper filter.
Ooh.
Here.
Yep. Yeah, that's voodoo.
So now we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna drain the
No
fluids. Drain the fluids. We're gonna go ahead and start to get the ball joints undone. Those are always kind of fun. Sometimes they come off really easy, sometimes they don't. So we're gonna get the ball joints off. Under tray portions right here. We're gonna get that off. And then drain the fluid. So in under trays, control arms. Ron's actively working on, I'm assuming, the exhaust right now.
No.
Or no? What are you working on?
You got
Wiring. Okay.
Wiring off the
Yeah.
alternator.
Alternator. That makes sense. And then we'll drop the subframe. So we're gonna go ahead and
shoo.
doing along. So we got
So currently, does anybody have questions about the motor removal process? What exactly we're doing right now? If so, type it in the chat. Chat. It is an upgraded 22 millimeter from Telefaro. Yep. You definitely can't tell what it is anymore, that's for sure. The brown edition.
The Rusty edition.
The roster.
The rusty edition.
Oh, Rusty.
Shoo.
Dude, June out there singing.
He's singing?
It's probably cussing.
Or-
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. June's got the voice of an angel. Yeah, you can actually, you guys can kind of see it probably out there. Oh, maybe. Nope, it won't focus.
Yeah.
Oh well, the cage car and also our laser red wagon.
Oh, so.
Somebody said easy way to remove the rusty downpipe bolts.
Well, it depends on if you have a 3-inch or stock. If you have a stock, it's actually not bad. But what I would tell most people too is if you get the opportunity to not reuse the 13s and you go to this like a smaller 11, a 10, or a 12 on
10.
3-inch, the 10 is the best. I would argue, if you have a larger downpipe because it makes it way easier taking it on and off. And in solutions, just V-band it. But for stock location turbos, we like to soak them first. We always soak them, and then we actually have
Soak with PB.
we actually have a modified 13 wrench that I've made forever that I use a lot of times that actually shaved it down real thin. It's just a generic 13 wrench, a 12.13 wrench that I shaved down. That it's just kind of like my specialty tool that I typically use.
Cody's got a lot of those.
But I've got a lot of one-off weird
Custom tool.
tools that I've made over the years to just make the jobs that much quicker and faster. So, but the most important thing is letting it properly soak. If not, you're just gonna end up stripping it, rounding it off, and then you just break the studs. Which at the end of the day, if you break the stud, just put new studs in it anyways. But we usually, I'll be honest, anytime that we're usually working on a car, it's usually not getting a stock turbo put back on. It's usually a rebuilt turbo, or and any OG 93 or 95 that comes to the shop, if the turbo comes off, they're minimal going to a 6, if not a 7 centimeter.
Steve said that's a Walmart special filter. Yeah, it's crazy because Fram, you might want to keep this in the car. This is a collectible now because they filed bankruptcy. So I know, pretty crazy. So they probably won't be in stores much longer.
They filed chapter.
They're about to go out of business. Yeah, Fram.
That calls for a shoe.
Yeah, because we actually were getting oh yeah, Bailey brought one of those by a Fram Haas filter. But we've got a lot of we usually use just the Mobile One Haas filters, whatever the deal is going on. Yeah, Jay said that laser red wagon is super clean. Yes. Like literally, this always cracks us up with Saab people, as you fellow Saab owners. Yeah. Yeah, they somebody put a deposit on it. Literally, the first people that looked at that car put a deposit on it, and it's just so funny because you know how it goes when you list a car and people are like, "Oh, that's too expensive." Well, it's sold literally instantly. So same day, literally first person that looked at it put a deposit on it. So super clean car.
Decent amount of work.
Yeah, we did. We did PIM, steering lock, bunch of stuff to the car. So typical NG93 things. But yeah, that car, we've been daily driving it, put a few hundred miles on it. It's been a great car, needless to say. But currently the subframe is a little crusty, but like I said, the car is completely rust free. So currently Caden's out there swapping the subframe on it with a nice clean rust free one that we have. So just because it does have a little bit of surface rust, and so we're doing that. So yep.
So if you are somebody who has a Viggen in particular, or just let's say an OG 93 Aero in Europe, whatever, these are never in shape. So this is honestly impressive for the fact of the age of the car, the mileage of the car, that all of these are intact and not damaged, which is crazy. But if you do not have these on your Viggen, source them and put them on your Viggen because
Yes.
directly affects the
Your
drag coefficient of the
aerodynamics.
car, and it is night and day difference. And I know this is going to sound stupid, but
It's
from
true.
100 to 150, you notice it.
It's true.
So it's worth finding when putting them on the car.
Jay said, "You really think the Haas filter is that much better than stock?"
do you mean?
100%.
Well,
Bruh.
whether it be Haas,
Bruh.
whether it be Haas or the Giga Haas, first thing with more oil, what does more oil do? It means cooler. So Yes, on an OG93, the oil cooler is inefficient. It is. So the oil cooler should be at least the same size as a 9.5, but they couldn't do that because they didn't have room. So they were like, you know what? Let's make a. Actually, we have one. I'll show you one.
Yeah, we have one in the trash. They belong in the trash.
So 9.5 ones are actually twice as thick. So they put this little tube on here, routed it back, so then you can.
Yeah, that Jace is asking specifically about his 9.5 though.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
to
for
run,
sure. So in a 9.5, it's not as like important in my opinion.
but it's
Yeah,
still better.
but
More
the
oil.
reason why is it's more oil means less frequency on the oil change if you're trying to go longer, which I don't recommend. You're gonna have better cooling properties, so you have more fluid, meaning you're gonna be able to obviously, arguably have cleaner oil, cooler oil. So there's no reason not to. And the main reason that we really like doing it is we run the Gigahaus filter. You can put just a solid 5 quarts in. So you literally just makes oil changes that much easier because then you just put the whole bottle in. Because most oil is
Ah,
sold in 5 quarts.
Steve said he's been putting 5W30 in the car, but that's bad.
Right? That's getting a new motor.
So, Dynamo 5W30, but with you having a new motor, forged motor, I always tell people 40 weight always.
Yeah,
5 or 0
that's
is fine.
okay because it was recommended stock, but
It
then
is.
there was actually a revision.
Yeah, so like there's an argument on what part of the world you live on.
But he did say every 3.3 thousand miles.
Yes, so
So that's perfect.
530 is fine, arguably. And if you're really like if you're tracking or racing the shit out of it, you want to do a 50 weight. But I'm
Like on the Cannonball car.
Nick's car, for
Yeah.
example, he's running 50. You want to run a heavier weight if you're actually seeing the abuse of the heat. Now, once again, you are perfect example. You are going to be running a larger turbo, oil pressure and things like that are going to be changing slightly. But the other thing is too, when you are running that larger turbo, heat applications and like that are going to be changing. So you do want to run a thicker oil because the viscosity of the oil going to that larger frame turbo is crucial, and running a 30 weight is not ideal
Yeah.
on that larger.
And that's a
oil.
perfect question because somebody just asked, what weight should I put in my, oh, what weight and oil type? I use 10W40 motorcycle oil in all my Saabs except for in the winter.
Yeah, so 10 is fine. I mean, when in doubt, the second number is what matters. So the winter weight will either be 0, 5, or 10. That's not as important. That really is going to come down to what part of the world you live in. So if you live in a warmer versus a colder climate, you may want to run 10, 5, or 0. So it just honestly, at the end of the day, that's going to solely depend on where is the car living most of its life, summer, winter. Is it extreme? Do you live in Russia where your winters and summers are absolutely polar opposites? So that winter weight, the first number that really is going to solely come down to, but that second number should be minimal 40. I just tell people,
Yeah, and then
especially if it's modified.
brand wise, Mobile One, Motul, Liqui Moly, those are usually the
Yeah, and Mobile One, they actually, I mean, back in the day, they lost their lawsuit. They got sued because they always said only put Mobile One in it, whatever. But if you're like, I'll be honest, if really any full synthetic oil is fine if you're doing it every 3,000
yes,
miles.
full synthetic.
So
Full synthetic.
people, anyone that knows anything about turbocharged cars, it's got to be full synthetic. If you don't know that, you shouldn't be driving the car. And then the same with the fueling goes in too. So it's one of those things where you're gonna want to make sure you're running proper fuel. No, nice. Everyone's gas is expensive.
Yes.
And whatnot.
Make sure you're running the proper fuel in your car. Very important.
So the fact that this thing's fully intact, there's only one little cutout for the 6-point subframe brace.
It's in great shape.
in-
Shout out, Steve.
Great
Did
shape.
this get replaced during the accident?
That's not original marking, so I have a feeling it did. So something while we're under here, the 6-point subframe brace, it does make a difference. But I would tell you if you want to make the biggest difference, either running a bar from here to here on this, but really welding this shut. So if you actually put a bar here and weld this together, the ends, that is where you're going to see your biggest difference. The 6-point subframe, it is, anytime you have any type of strut brace or anything that is a bolt-in, like a lot of times you'll see strut braces that actually bolt to the towers, but then they have additional bolts that bolt in a bar. Those always are inferior to something that's just welded in place. So what I would tell you is instead of doing a 6-point subframe brace, if you actually do a bar across, that helps arguably just as much as the 6-point, or if you actually weld this shut. And in some cases, if your car's not super slammed, you can actually put even a skid plate here and weld a skid plate across, bring it down, bar, and run a skid plate across and just weld it on. That actually stiffens the front quite a bit. And then same with the like Viggen rescue kit on the bar up there. If you actually do that and make a custom one on the other side as well, it does make somewhat of a difference as well. Something we are going to be offering on the website is we have officially, I don't know if anyone has done it in the United States yet, but we have officially done a true power steering delete for anyone out there that wants to run a grease style rack. So we're sourcing grease style racks that are not hydraulic power steering pump.
Finally.
That particularly deletes the power steering pump too.
Little Crosworth.
Usually a bigger one. So we're going to be offering a power steering delete kit that gets rid of the power steering pump and gets rid of the power steering rack. Now, people will go, why would you want to do that? A, performance.
Handles
B,
a lot better.
way less issues, and the rack that we're using actually has it's less rotations. So instead of having 3 rotations for full clock runs, similar to how some of the older racks and some of the older cars,
Then
it's less turn, less
99 EMS
rotations,
max.
less portion of a turn. So it's a better turn in as well. So that's kind of why we're really doing it.
Somebody said, "Yeah, I agree 5W40, but I drive my Saabs like a cannonball run every day." Yeah, that's how we are.
Yeah, same thing.
um, and then, ooh,
Ball joint's not been off for a while. There it is.
shoo, popped it. Shoo, definitely a little Crosworth.
So what Ryan was doing, we're popping the ball joint. So what happens is these ball joints pretty much, if you've ever done this, they're absolutely a fucking nightmare to get off a lot of times. So you end up having to pop them down. So this is arguably questionable. It looks like it's not that bad, but
He does have
these
power flex.
probably could be. But once we have everything off, we'll talk on the phone, Steve, and just decide like, hey, we're here. Do you want us to go ahead and replace some of the components? They're not
He
bad.
said, "If you put the big filter on, then I don't have the extra quart left over in the jug for when the engine burns it in 1,000 miles." Valid.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So
Too funny, dude.
I mean, that's true. I mean, to be fair though, you should be putting like 4.3, 4.6 in there. So you should only have half a quart in the jug. But
Too funny.
you'll
Somebody said, "Please do the power steering delete for the NG93 as well."
yeah, so with the NG93, we've thought about it a couple
We want
times.
to do it on my car.
Yeah, so
But
we're
my
Allison's
car's a
car.
bad example. I
Yeah,
feel
Allison's car is gonna be the first car we do it on because we just want to delete it on her car. So when you do the power steering delete, so we've already figured out how to do it. Now her car is a 2.8, so it's a little different. But to do it on the 2.8, it's a little different than the B207. But we actually delete the power steering pump off of the stock location, and then we actually relocate the alternator. So you can actually move the alternator to the front of the motor on the 2.8s, and then get rid of the power steering pump, and then just go to electronic rack if you want to do that, or grease style rack. So we're gonna be doing it on her car. So we may offer it as an option, but it's just we hate it's problematic, especially X-wheel drive cars. In the 2.8s, you can't get new power steering pumps anymore. You got to just rebuild them. And a lot of people don't want to deal with that. So for us, we're now making parts and doing stuff to eliminate things so you don't need more parts because you can't get a lot of them. So even like the power steering line on these cars are notorious for going out, and it's a pain in the ass. So it's just like, why not delete it? So a lot of people like their power steering, a lot of people like their AC, like this stuff, but we set up a lot of our personal cars. We delete everything.
Yeah, and then somebody said, "Does anyone make a subframe brace for the NG93? Wouldn't that be worth running the convertible subframe then?"
Yeah, so I'll be straight up with you. If you're trying to get a suffering brace put on the stock uh I'll put it this way. So if you have a NG93 that is not a convertible, it uses a rubber bushing. You can either remove that rubber bushing and just put in a CNC'd plug, which we'll offer for sale if that's something you guys are interested in. There's a guy in Europe that was doing it for a while that we were like, hey, should we offer this? So we kind of dicked around with it for a little bit. So we're going to offer slide-in solid CNC'd aluminum bushings that you can put in that really strengthen it up. Or you can just say screw it and run the convertible. So if you actually get a hold of a NG93 convertible subframe. It has no rubber bushing. It's all metal, and that bolts straight in, and it really makes the front of the car that much stiffer.
Oh my god, look what Steve just did. Hashtag Saab Onk.
Oh my god,
That's Cody, everyone.
dude, that's
Saab Onk. That needs to be put on his shirt.
dude.
That's so funny, dude. That's so good. Certified Saab Onk. Let's see. He said, "Not sure when the air shields were replaced, probably when the front end was rebuilt." Yeah, it's in really good shape. Looks amazing. In really good shape. Alright, Ryan, what's the next step-aroo?
So right now, I'm just trying to get this last wire unplugged for the oil pressure sensor, and then the wire can be pulled out of the way.
Nice.
So if you have a bunch of half-inch extensions, the easiest way to take the belt off. I'm just taking the belt off. You don't have to do that, but I like to use a swivel on the end, which gives me a little bend, and then just use some extensions, and then that helps you just compress this off. Oh,
Japan.
Japan too.
We love Japan.
Yes.
That's where he wants to be.
Yes.
This happens sometimes though.
Yeah, because he's out here trying to take the belt off. He's this guy taking the belt off.
Sabong.
Because he just, he wants to do something.
Yeah.
Gotta do something for the video.
Yeah, gotta look like I know what I'm doing.
Cody has to look like he knows how to work on cars, so he just took the serpentine belt off.
So once Brian has this last connector off, we obviously got the shields off, the subframe that'll come down next. We are gonna have to put a brace across the motor to hold the motor in place once the subframe comes down, and then we're gonna drain the fluids when we do that at the same time. Before we do that though, I am gonna go ahead and take off this power steering line that goes to the power steering pump. We're gonna drain the power steering first. And a lot of these clips and things that are in here are gonna get replaced.
Really quick, I'm gonna put the tripod up and then grab the charger for the gimbal. So you guys are getting put on a tripod for a second. I will check questions as soon as I get back. I'll be 2 seconds. Oh. Turn the gimbal off.
There it is. Firearms.
Oh. Okay. Little tripod action. Dude, of course. Things always have to be stupid. Sorry. Okay. Sorry for the jiggly. There we go. Tripod action for a second. Gonna grab the charger real quick.
So something that I always like to, you have the worm clamps, the traditional style worm clamp. I don't know if you guys know what that looks like. I'm taking one of those off right now. They're actually a 7 millimeter. Use the 7 millimeter instead of a flathead. I can't stand when people are using a flathead and they get all marred up. Just use a 7 millimeter on it. It's way easier. Wow. So I'm grabbing a pan real quick because there's going to be some drippage when we take the line off for the power steering. I do move the Cobra pipe slightly out of the way, so I did take that bolt off, but so we don't make too big of a mess. I just take my hand here, spin the power steering pump so the fluid comes out of it a little bit. You grab me the empty. Where did that empty bottle I had? Oh, here. No, you threw it away. This? No, that wasn't it. I'm sorry. I had to put the pan. Yeah, I have. No, I've got the pan down there. Yeah, really, just fluids and the subframe. That's really it. Back shift linkage. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and do the shift linkage now, this is why we're up here. So we're gonna do the shift linkage. It's a 13 on the back there. It's something that I have forgotten once before when I was doing that. Broke one before. It's something you definitely want to make sure you don't forget. It's easy to forget. So I have broken one of those once before.
Alrighty, let's see. Anybody got any questions while I was gone? Jay said, "Oh yeah, I disconnected the power steering pump line and removed the pump. Is there any other secret lines for the 9.5?"
For the power steering now, it's just the one line that goes to it. Just be careful when you're taking the actual power steering pump off, because there's a bracket underneath. The bracket underneath, it's easy to break that bolt, especially in the OG93s. The bottom bolt, if you get those bolts mixed up, you end up cracking, break them. So just be careful on the bottom bolt on the bracket.
Jay said they have a bunch of them. I would assume he means lines.
It's just the two lines going to it. So it's nothing crazy. It's just the 17th kind of a bitch sometimes to take off.
And then somebody said, anybody got 5x110 wheels? We have piles of wheels at the shop. So
We still have, but maybe not as many as we have from that video we made with Sarasota.
oh yeah, that's a good video. Bring out all the wheels. FYI, Alfa Romeo rims fit from the Giulia. Yeah, that's a very common swap that a lot of people do. They look pretty good.
You want actual 16?
Me and Ryan did my shift linkage. Oh, shoot. Me and Ryan did my shift linkage over the phone yesterday. Nice. You, Ryan?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice that he helped you. He must like you or something.
Okay, so his power steering, one of his power steering bolts is really crusty. Here's took it for more with a PB right here. So that is
Yeah, and also with wheels wise, I think Mark is saying that. Mark, with wheels as well, you can also run 5x108 or 5x112. You just have to run variation.
yeah. So
So
they're not dangerous. They're not sketchy.
They are
People
not.
call them wobble bolts. They're variation bolts. So it
Yes.
sounds less extreme.
So if you want more wheel options and more affordable wheel options,
So
that
you can buy variation bolts, and that gives you 2 millimeter of play. So you can run 5x108, as Allison just said, or 5x112. And 5x112 is
the
Volkswagen.
bolts had colors on them. Some
Yeah,
variation.
yeah. So and Saab redesigned the actual wheel bolt to actually go to a collar, a movable collar, but it only has about a half mil of play. So it's not like the 2 mil play that you would actually need. So it's not any different than what Saab originally put on there. It just has a little bit more play in that collar. So once you go to 5x112, it opens up wheel options immensely.
Oh yeah, especially wait, Audi is 5x112, right? Audi Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Problem is the
It's-
65.1 hub bore is not as common, yes, and then that's when you need the ring.
Right. So then you just have
adapter
to you
ring.
just get a hub-centric
Hub
ring,
centric
and then you're
yeah.
good as well. And that's and
Yeah, because I have rotiforms that were on a GTI on my car.
what's funny though is a lot of wheels actually will utilize that. Like TSW is not my favorite brand, but they actually have a lot of wheels that actually are the exact same size as Saab, ironically.
Yep.
Which is kind of funny. Oh man, it's on there. Yeah. Soaking some more. It's really on there. Crusty car.
Yep. So he said I'll definitely get them rings. Yes, sir. Get those rings. Yeah, you can literally order them on Amazon and they make nice custom CNC ones too. So they're CNC aluminum and they're literally, I kid you not, I think for the set for my car, they're like maybe $20. So like I said, you could literally run any 5x112 or 5x108. Just make sure, get the 65.1, whatever adapter the wheel is. E55 AMG wheels would be nice on a Saab.
Yeah, look that. Honestly though, my favorite, we have this debate all the time. What's the best looking OEM Saab wheel? Double blades are my favorite because
Oh God,
it's
here
an
we go
18
again.
wheel.
Nick Telfero has them on his
Yeah, Nick
car.
Tuffer has one on his Viggen as well. So, but
Cody Ellis.
they are the best looking Saab. I don't care what it says. Double blades are
I
best.
love Gary Fisher's Klingons.
Hey, Gary Fisher's look super fucking good on OG93.
They do.
If you have like a Monte Carlo or a laser red and they're white, oh my god, looks so good.
Yes. And I love RK1s as well. Like if I could find a set of 18-inch RK1s.
Let's see. Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know this, we're gonna teach you something real quick. We're gonna see what his age is.
Oh yeah, here you
guys
go.
see?
Let's learn something.
So you have this Ford number right here. This is actually pretty new. 1539. That means it was the 15th, meaning of 2015, the 39th week. So this is pretty much
Oh,
towards the end. So this is almost made in 2016. So general rule of thumb with DICs, typically they start to take a shit once they get about 10 years old.
Sorry.
Daily driven. So they're daily driven on typically get 10 years out of them. So a lot of the last true SEM ones, the last date that they were making this, that I have personally seen is 2020. I don't think they made them after 2020. So I would assume if they did make them after 2020, and the ones that I'm referring to, NGK actually was making them. So the ones that are NGK 2017, 2018, 2018, 2019, 2020, that was the end of the SEM, the good one, I should say. The ones that are out now are fine, but once you are a highly tuned or modified, let's say, heavy advancement on the ignition, they don't last very long, the Chinese ones or the new Saab original ones. So we're actively, I've already figured it out, haven't officially put it on the car yet. It's one of the things that we've been wanting to do is for people that don't want to go standalone. I think I've got it figured out, almost got it figured out, but utilizing the T8 ionization module and the T8 coil packs. So haven't officially done it yet, but in theory, I have everything and it should work. So we should be able to run T8 coil packs and an ionization module from the T8 car, and it
That'd be pretty cool.
should work. And then that will help
Pretty cool.
alleviate the problem of not having a good coil pack all the time.
Steve said, "Can you talk about what wheel offsets people should be targeting with these cars?"
Well, I mean, it's that wheel offset solely comes down to
Like 38.
yeah. So it comes
35,
down to what
38.
brakes that you're also running. So the biggest problem is you don't want to go too far in. So if you go to like a 35 offset, or anything less than that, that's going to be
Oh,
problematic.
sorry guys.
So if you're doing like a 38, a 40, that's good. But if you go the other direction, let's say you go 35, 32, 20, you're gonna have issues, especially in OG93. You don't really have a lot of you've got 5 mil to go in. So a 35 offset is literally it. Like you go past that, you start to have issues. So 38, 40, hell, 44. I mean, you want to bring that tire out more than you want to bring it in. Now, the problem when you bring it out, though, then you have to roll the fenders. So 38, 40 is kind of the sweet spot, honestly. So like a lot of like if you want to run like RPF ones, like you want to do like a 38. If you want to run
Yeah, I think 38's probably
yeah, 38, 40, 42, 44. In that window is kind of good. And that's slowly going to come down to what wheel, what kind of stance you're looking for. But I typically fall around the 38, 40. That's kind of the sweet spot. Most Saab wheels are like OEM are around there as well. But if you want to go like more deep dish, 35 is doable. But then you run into issues clearing brakes if you're trying to do like
So
great brake.
somebody said, "Does anyone know about the DIC cassette spark plug cleaning after you shut the car off? I learned the hard way testing on one and got zapped. It's like 15 seconds burn off."
Yeah, so the whole car, everything in the car in these cars, it sends a charge through the canvas system that is for the first after the key is off, 15 to 30 seconds, depending on which car we're talking about. You have a solid 15 seconds on everything. So anytime you're looking for like parasitic draws or anything, when you're testing for that stuff, you need to make sure the car has sat for a solid 15 seconds before you look at anything. And I always argue up to a full 30 seconds, depending on once again what car we're talking, for the full system to fully shut down. And that's something that you typically look at for like when you're, and ironically, someone was just talking about one of their, not SIDs or SIUs in their '05 or '06 Dame that was parasitically drawing, and everyone was saying, hey, make sure you wait 15, 30 seconds. I was actually just having this conversation with somebody literally on Facebook yesterday. So it's kind of funny.
This is a text, not a live. Leo asked, "How's business looking for the Benz?"
Yeah, you can drop off the first car from the motor pool next week. It's fine.
Okay.
So if you want to, we want to drop the first car, I'll get that going. Oh, I've done that.
Oh, June's hurting himself outside.
He pinched himself on the creeper.
Oh,
Oh,
that's the
done,
worst.
dude. You're done. You're done.
Dawn. Over your sock? Oh, pinch your rib skin. Ooh. Oh, you got it? Yeah, I soaked it twice. Okay, so then that's it then. So then we just need to drain the fluids.
Yeah, the wire harness.
Yeah.
Sorry, the tripod kind of sucks, but I'll switch you guys to the gimbal as soon as it charges up a little bit. Sorry.
So we just finished. We got both power steering lines off. Ryan's taking this last. We had to let it soak for a couple PB cycles just because it's really crusty. So that's officially coming out, and then we're gonna lift the car back up, drain the fluids, and then once the fluids are drained, we're gonna drop the subframe. And before we do that, we have to put the brace on. So we'll actually probably go ahead and put the brace on since we're already up here now. So I'll grab the brace. We'll brace the motor because you don't technically have to do this. If you have stock mounts, it will hold technically not good to do. So don't do that, but you technically don't. But if you have any form of aftermarket mount, Talfaro or any of that stuff, you are going to need to support the motor at this step. So we're going to go ahead and get that one.
Take a little picture for the Instagram story. Here, hold that up. Look at me. Look at me.
You're holding. Why am I holding this?
Ron, look at me.
I'm holding this.
Oh shoot, that was a bad picture. Wait. Sorry, you guys are getting a live. Ron, here.
Picture.
You come over this way, Ron.
Why are we getting a picture?
I don't know.
Instagram
Like,
story.
they're probably like, what is going on?
There you go. Just to say we're live right now.
Yeah, hurry up.
We're live right now. As you guys know, we don't have as many YouTube subscribers as we do Instagram followers, so
This is true.
we're trying to get monetized to help fund all these crazy projects.
Well,
so-
bring you guys better,
And
better
we have
content and
better-
better parts.
Yes,
So
exactly.
any extra money we can make to bring more,
Make cool stuff.
make cool stuff. It's not even about anything other than make cool stuff. Let's be
Yep, we like making cool stuff.
Yes.
You don't have to take it all the way off. We'll do this.
Oh yeah. Oh.
This-
No, yeah. I think it outside your chin.
In where?
I still have to.
No, you don't. No, you don't. What are you doing?
Oh,
This guy's.
we move that over.
You're right.
You really good. You good there? That's
Yeah, we're here. I was like, we really have to do that. So, you didn't take the down plate off?
Jay said, I hold my engine up with a jack stand with wood as a buffer anytime I remove the motor mount, which has been shot recently. Slot?
9.5's different. It has 4 mounting points where this has 3. So the 9.5's a little different. So it's not quite the same. These are actually both mounts on this are underneath the car, and the
Oh, he said a lot recently. I removed the motor mount, which has been a lot recently.
so we're just putting a little bit of tension, not anything crazy when we hold the motor in place. So then that's held. So we just got to get the 2 downpipe bolts off too, which we already stuck. So
There's 3.
well, the bottom one, I'd say there's 2 in the top.
Oh.
Yeah, they got soaked, so they're
I
like
soaked them like way before.
Lubed them up.
They get like 12 o'clock right there.
yeah, because they're both loose, so we're good there.
The soaking helps.
So if you are someone who frequently works on cars, and this is the tool. So whether it be Snap-on or Gear Wrench or whatever brand, these extended long ratcheting, I use these more than anything. And these like
Dude,
these are the wrench. These are the tool for almost everything.
those are the tool. Jay said, be back soon. I just got home. Let me act like a husband for a couple of minutes. Yeah, you go be a good husband, sir.
So would that mean you were watching and driving? Is that what that means?
Yeah,
You're
that's what I
watching
said.
this and driving? Shoot.
That's bad.
I always see the drivers doing that. I'm just like,
Yeah, you're the kind of driver.
Hey, if
sir.
you're driving a manual, you wouldn't be doing that.
I mean, I'm supposed to do that in the manual.
Ron sends me videos on Snapchat all the time while driving his manual car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, did you get the bolts off for the downpipe? I'll do those.
Yeah.
Whoa, earthquake,
I saw your eyes.
earthquake.
You use the.
Yeah, that's true. That's already good. This one doesn't have a fall, so I'm not neutral dropping my tool.
Neutral drop.
I'll get How about that?
I was like, I'll just do stop it.
Bah!
I guess to tighten it back on.
Hey.
Oh, taking the whole stuff out.
Stuff's coming out, which is what happened.
Yeah.
Good thing there was TV though. It just, came right out.
So when we take off the exhaust nuts, this happens more often than not. The stud comes, and then if you look at the stud,
Oh yeah, you can't. You gotta go further.
this stud is done, which means the stud's probably been out before,
Oh, this one came.
and it is absolutely just fucked.
So just the nut.
So we got a nut and we got that. So then we'll get the bottom from underneath. But these will obviously get replaced. The whole turbo, everything's being replaced, but it's kind of irrelevant. But... Okay, I'll wait and go.
You guys are going up? Then I will switch to the gimbal for you guys. Okay. Sorry guys, gonna be shaky for a second. After a little gimbal charge, I'm gonna switch you guys over to this. Oh, sorry. Okay, we're doing the switcheroo. So we can see all the hubbub going on. Oh. Okay. So what, subframe's coming down next?
We're doing fluids.
Oh, yes.
It's easier to drain the
Yeah,
fluid.
I'm gonna take this
Plaster.
plastic guard over here off, and then we're gonna take the subframe off, and then we're gonna drain the fluids.
True.
It's always, as Ron just said, it's always easier to just take the subframe off to draining the fluids and then taking off the coolant lines and stuff like that. It's way easier. You're not trying to work around something.
What are the plans for the yellow Viggen? That's so funny you ask because we were literally just filming with it this
Filming a
weekend.
lot with that, and we're actually gonna be uploading a video this
Day
week.
off.
So you'll see some really cool stuff that we started doing on that. We are keeping
Custom
Viggen.
material.
Allison wants to keep it for her.
Yes, it's a forever
So
card.
it makes sense. So
Yeah.
it makes sense.
This guy wanted to sell it. I want to keep it.
I like the laser red, so it is what it is.
Now we got the his.
So we have 2 laser red 3-doors, so we're gonna keep one of those, and one of those is selling, and then
Ketchup and mustard.
we want to have a yellow and red. So we're for the OG 93s, and then the all-wheel drive Viggen, we're gonna actually get that finished, and then we're gonna sell that. So that will be available at some point after we drive it for a little while. And then we're gonna offer the all-wheel drive kit,
But the Monte Carlo Yellow Viggen, we want to make our first official nice F40 personal car.
Yep.
So that'll be F40. It'll probably be some form of a top mount
Yeah. So we haven't decided. We're
sidewinder,
pretty sure we're
perhaps.
gonna do we're gonna flip the turbo.
Relocate the battery.
We're gonna put the air intake on the where the battery sits. We're gonna delete a few things. Allison wants to keep power steering and AC.
I just want
stuff
that
in
car
it.
to be a bit nicer because I'll have my other car that'll
We
be
started
everything
doing the
tilted.
interior already, so you'll see some of the stuff on what we're doing on that on the video that we have coming out this week. We're gonna be doing F40 as Allison just said.
Buzz.
And we're gonna be arguably doing a nicer custom interior and some other things. So you'll see that in coming weeks. And then
Matching
most importantly,
colors.
fully built motor, power shaft delete, all that. We're probably gonna keep it at a reasonable 4 to 450 wheel. So we might even do something different, maybe a TD05, just as an affordable turbo kit option. And then we're
That's gonna be very much a car to sell things on the website.
yeah. So it's gonna be all the stuff that we're actively gonna offer for sale is gonna be essentially on that car to a certain degree. A carbon fiber roof, which we offer those are available for sale now. So we're gonna be putting a carbon fiber roof on that car. We are gonna be we currently are in the process of making a carbon fiber hood, which will also be utilizing the Evo style vent. So way forever ago, I did an Evo 8 vent on my 9.5, and this is like back in Saab Central days.
Back in the day.
This is literally
Saab
15 years ago. And then Boost Matters in Alaska, he also did it, and then Brent did one on his Viggen, and I really like the way it looked on the Viggen. So we're actually going to make something similar to what Brent did, and offer a carbon fiber version of it.
Oh my gosh, Ruben just tuned in. He said Cape Verde. Oh my gosh, the inside joke. Cape Verde.
This guy.
This guy.
You're about to get banned.
You're gonna get banned from the live stream,
You're
Ruben.
banned from
Snailworks?
yeah. Yeah.
Ruben's actually.
I won't touch your car ever again.
Oh dang.
Maybe he doesn't want me to touch it. Maybe he doesn't want me to.
Ruben is here a lot. Ruben has been here a lot lately, which is good. We love
I
Ruben.
think you're talking
Boobin! Yeah, Ruben is one of our longtime customers. He has a nice convertible Viggen, good friend of ours now, with an LSD. Basic bolt-on mods, but it does have an LSD, so it handles a lot better than most convertible Viggens, so that's good. He also has a 9.5 that's got downpipe intercooler. That's a 9.5 Aero.
Roach car.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it got flooded, it's submerged. Yeah, so that
It's a rust.
yeah, it's a little cruzzy, but that's okay. But he is looking for a 9.5 wagon. So if anybody in the chat has a cheap 9.5 wagon for sale, Ruben wants to get a 9.5 Aero wagon that's in better shape than his Aero sedan. So, but yeah, he's got a couple nice Saabs, and then of course he has a BMW. Nasty. It's a very nice BMW though. What is it? A 7 Series? Yeah, 7 Series. It's a ripper for sure. Twin turbo V8. Pretty cool. Nice car, but we don't like BMWs, but it is a nice car. But yes, he's got.
We're gonna hit some.
We do stuff for our good customers and friends. Yeah. Just like we have a Mercedes coming to the shop
Another one
for a diesel.
out
Oh, nice, nice.
and it's bent.
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah.
It's got peyronie's.
Oh.
Oh my.
Oh.
No one knows what that means.
Oh my gosh, if my dad is watching, he'll laugh. That's like the weirdest commercial on TV.
I would say for every 10 Viggens we get, only 2 of them has the shield.
Look, this one's like
This one's
About to bust.
through it.
about a bus.
About to bust.
At some point, we had some leaks going on in there, you know.
Yep.
Okay, downpipe is officially off. We're just sitting here.
Nice. Just hanging out.
Yeah.
This is something I will.
Because now we can take
If you are someone who gives a shit about your car, like, I don't care what kind of car it is. I don't care if it's an F-150 or a Toyota Celica. I don't care what it is.
Well,
and you have exhaust work done to your car,
oh,
and you have someone else do it. This is whatever. We cannot tell you how many times we'll see people that'll have exhaust work done, and then they won't have a way
to take it off.
take it off. So it'll be now, mind you, this car isn't. That's not what's going on this car. But we had a car just the other day.
Oh my gosh, the
That-
whole exhaust was
So
connected.
the whole exhaust is one piece. So you can't do that on OG93. So we have seen it where we have people come in.
And do it, but then you ain't getting it off.
Yeah, so it goes up, over, back. So you have to cut it off. So if you have an OG93
Wait,
shirt,
how the yellow Viggen was?
yes,
Yeah.
Our own
Yes,
personal,
yes.
our own personal car was
So
like
make
that.
sure you have ways to
Welded onto
pull
the
exhaust
car.
off. This exhaust is getting completely redone for the new setup. So this is arguably we could just cut this off.
Sounds good though, because this is the JT exhaust, right?
Yeah, so which I have to look. I know we talked about redoing a whole exhaust, partial exhaust, which I know I have to talk to Steve again because I can't remember if we invoiced him, didn't invoice him. If we're doing it, I have to look.
Don't remember.
But either way, I know we're doing the exhaust is going to be new up to here minimal, if not all the way back. So,
Yeah, we're gonna leave that on.
yeah, it's right there. That's not a thing. I don't want that. And that's not even an OEM one. That's like a
Yeah, I don't know what. It's very strange.
Ching Chong one.
Yeah, it is a JT exhaust. You did not invoice me for a new exhaust yet. Okay, well, we got to do that then.
I hate to say it, there's a bunch of stuff you haven't been invoiced for yet, but yeah,
It's all
mainly
small things.
labor.
The big. Oh, he said it's a Summit Racing Cat. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, it is. So it's definitely Chinese then.
Hell yeah! Get that out of here. Meow. Here he comes, all menacingly. He looks so menacing. Welded on by me and my friend. Oh, good job, guys. Yeah, they're not
The
bad.
welds are actually decent. So it's like whoever did it knew what they were doing. So it wasn't like it was shitty.
Just the exhaust quality is shitty. That's why it
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
look
it's
very
not.
good.
I've seen way worse.
Oh, here we go. Oh, bus.
No PB on there.
No PP.
No PB on it. Okay.
Breaking the cardinal sin.
Oh,
We know we're replacing it. So
why did Ruben say back from Africa? Were you just in Africa? What?
Ruben, what are you talking about?
Yeah, were you in Africa and didn't tell us?
Did you not have a sugary drink today?
Ruben Ruben does love
Ruben
sugar.
comes to the shop and literally
Drinks three
three drinks. We have a shop cooler here that's got a bunch of random drinks.
like Japanese drinks
Three
and
drinks.
weird fun drinks.
And Ruben always comes in.
He loves the drinks. He
Most
loves the
people have
drinks.
one, maybe two. Ruben will have three
Yeah.
or sometimes.
Ruben spends enough money with us.
Yeah.
Ruben spends a lot of money
Give
with
it
us.
fair. It's just he drinks the most.
It's so
He
He's getting
does.
his money's worth.
it's fun.
He is. Shoo.
He's like, I'll use it.
That was that. That,
Here to
that,
collect.
that had another maybe two winners.
He said making fun of Ryan. Oh my gosh.
I'm not,
Cape Verde.
Buddy. I've been here.
I've been
In the
here.
I've been here.
Cape Verde.
So when you have the 6-point subframe, instead of taking
Cape
subframe down, we'll just take the downpipe with it when we bring it down. So we're gonna probably have to do that. So next step is when we take the ball joints off, we do leave the nut on them just briefly, just in case if we like slip or fall or whatever as we're bringing it down. The ball joints essentially will catch it once we get like undo that section. So we think Ron's gonna go ahead and do that, and then we're gonna have to fight with the exhaust here for a minute just to get it probably off.
Little cruzzy.
It's just crusty, so we're gonna probably have to fight with it for a little bit. But it's really not that bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and then do. He's doing that.
Oh,
Ruben just hammers this.
Ruben loves messing with you. You know that.
Yeah. What are you doing? Not. Four washers. June's rocking out there.
He is. A little bit of tunage. He's getting it.
So I'm gonna take the front subframe bolts off first. I'm just gonna start taking some of these off while Ryan's working on the exhaust. So these have definitely been off at one point and not too bad.
Yeah, it came off pretty easily.
Fronts usually come off without issue. When we start to get older, the middle bolts, there's a section inside that essentially is slid in from the factory. And if you've had somebody that doesn't know what the hell they're doing and over torque those, they spin and then you're screwed. So it's always interesting. We take the subframes down if that middle bolt has been screwed. And it's actually worse on the 9.5s than it is.
Steve said, how do you like that rear driver's side exhaust mount? See if you can get that isolator out.
Then get it out from inside. Good try. Yeah.
Ugh.
Let's see. It's just he has like one of the little ear bolts. That's got a little.
Yeah, we'll cut it off. We can get it off.
Oh, gee. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get it off for you, sir. That's not 17. That's it.
That thing always squeaks so bad. Needs to be deleted.
Yep, we'll get rid of it. We'll make it right.
We'll make it tight.
We'll make it right and tight.
Either with one so far, so let's see what the other side is.
Ah. Gosh, it's so Crowsworth.
I said it.
No!
But isn't that big of a deal? When we drop the subframe, we just have to be careful not to injure ourselves on it, but we'll just unscrew it out.
Womp. It broke.
But it needs
Fuck.
replacing. That's why it's here.
Look at that thing. Super cruzzy. Holy cow. Let's see.
I don't think you're able to see.
That's pretty Crowsworth.
Can you see up there?
No, we'll see when it comes down.
Yeah.
Yeah, no amount of PB Blaster is helping that. That's for sure.
Too bad. It was done. PP.
So we'll get some new subframe bolts in there, but that's typically what ends up
Oh my gosh. Wow.
done.
Lovely.
Do the middle one now.
Yep. See what the middle one look like. The middle one should be 18.
19. I think 19's on there, 9.5.
Yeah. No, 9.5s are 20s.
Oh, okay, yeah.
9.5s are 20s in the middle. 18 on this.
Oh my god. I got like that too.
So that one's actually not horrible.
I got Russ got me. Russ got me.
Huh.
Wait.
So he said, watching from New Jersey. Steven is my nephew. Really great live stream. Enjoying every minute. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Charles. Very, very nice of you. We definitely like to have fun around here.
So before we take the last subframe off too, so you have two options here. You can either take the bolt off from underneath for the rear motor mount and leave the motor mount in, or you can take the bolt on top and take the mount with you. Arguably, it's easier to leave the mount up. Ryan does it this way. I'm 50-50. If I'm already climbing up and undoing the linkage on the top, sometimes I'll just do the bolt up top. It really is just a mood thing for me, but he always does it from below. I'm 50-50.
He always does it from below.
That's out of control. No, because like when I go and put the motor back in, I do it the same way. So then once the subframe's bolted all the way back up, I just lower the hoist and usually the mount goes right in.
Just to be safe.
So it's nicer.
So now I'm gonna take this one.
Oh, Cruzzy.
Surprisingly, that
one was actually really nice.
I mean, it's done though. So
Yeah.
all these need to be replaced.
Oh, no.
Whatever you do, even though this is all the thread that is used, if it looks like this, replace it. Because what ends up happening is you put it back in, and then that corrosion just gets that much worse, and it ends up snapping. And then
Wasn't that what happened with Ruben's Viggen?
yes,
That was horrible.
hang on one
Oh, sorry. Ron's just hanging out here.
No, I know. It's kind of like good that stud's like stuck up in there because
Yeah.
It's actually keeping it up.
the exhaust needs to come
off a little bit.
It's loose everywhere. Wherever it comes off.
Valid.
I might just say fuck it, let's cut it.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting changed anyways.
Well, actually, no,
Oh, there it goes.
there it comes.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, I think it's getting stuck that way.
Oh, yeah, it's like all misformed.
Wait, is it just coming off?
No, it didn't come off.
We can just get a rubber mount. Let's tap on it.
No way.
Rubber mount off.
That's what he's doing.
There, just get out.
That's what he's doing.
Good. Oh.
Whoa.
Jeez.
Whoa, yeah. Hit the camera. Whoa. Whoa. POV.
Oh, yeah, literally.
Oh my gosh, it does look kind of crazy.
Oh,
Die. Cadê?
yeah, literally.
Cadê? Cadê?
Oh, metal.
Might as well.
Oh, little
Oh, that was cool. That was really cool.
foraging out here.
Sword. Ron's the blacksmith under Steve's car. Woo, Cruzzy. Hey! Hoorah!
Winner,
Chicken dinner. That was pretty buzzard.
So there it is. Not
That's
the best looking down pipe by any means, but it's functional. That's all that matters.
Shoo! Function over form.
Yep.
Is this why you're supposed to remove the downpipe before the engine? What?
You have to remove the downpipe if you want to remove the subframe. So the subframe, essentially, to drop it, the exhaust runs underneath it. So you have to remove the downpipe if you are planning on dropping the motor. So some people, now hear me out. Some people will drop the motor and the subframe together. You can do that. I don't think it's easier because we remove the subframe separately because then that allows us to get to the lines for the coolant, the intercooler, all the other things that are harder to get to when this is out of the way. So that's primarily why we drop it. And especially if there's a 6-point subframe brace, there's not even an option. We just drop it.
I was making a silly joke since Ron had to hammer it.
Oh. Oh.
Jace. I don't know. He's being goofy.
You guys joking out. We're like, oh, we'll tell you what's up.
We'll tell you what's up. Yeah, we'll be informative about it.
So we're gonna take this portion of the mid pipe off, just so we're not essentially hitting. We're gonna have to take the whole exhaust off anyways, probably when we do some rough repair anyways. So we're just gonna kind of take some of this section off. We don't technically need.
Oh yeah, and also
This does make it.
It's just in.
Oh yeah. Yeah, obviously we've been talking to Jace a lot in this live stream. He's famous on our YouTube channel actually. If you watch our If you guys watch our final drive video, he's the 9000 owner in the final drive video, even though he doesn't actually own a 9000. Very
Best acting, best
very good actor. Yeah,
Best
yeah,
acting.
very good actor. He's very talented. That's the highlight of that video, honestly. Oh, come on, Krusty Exhaust. Gosh. Ooh, that was good. Well, you love Krusties. We both love Krusties.
Ron likes Krusties more than me.
No, Ron likes Goobies.
No, I'll take Goobies. He'll take Krusties.
Yeah, he likes the Goobies.
Goobies is like you just wash them. Krusties like get in
Is
your
it-
eye and you're
And then
blind and then you're cut or you're whatever. And he's like, oh no, so did I. His whole day's ruined. His whole day is ruined if he gets cut or something in his eye. For me, I'm just like, oh, I got a cut. Oh,
Not his whole day. The next
but I'll just
part
work
of
the rest of the day with one eye closed. And then heaven forbid that you have Sir June outside or Ron both. They get gooby and get all.
Oh, they hate. And June gets so dirty.
I just did my motor pop. I was just in it.
He was just in the goo.
Hated
Fully.
Oh my god, I hate this car. It's so oily. And we're like, bro,
Oh,
oily is good.
that makes
Rusty
stuff
and
comes up
rusty is
early.
funny because people go, like people be a mechanic in Florida, and then they'll move up north to like
Spoiled.
Ohio.
Spoiled in Florida.
What is this? Soon as you work on cars above the Rust Belt, Tennessee and up,
Fuck.
you hate being a mechanic at that point because you're like, fuck this. The rust. I will take a rusty car only and only if I'm getting it for free. If I'm buying it, won't buy it. Will not buy a rusty car. But
You won't buy a rusty
well,
car?
the car amount's different.
We bought a rusty car to not part out. The silver Viggen.
Oh, well, that doesn't count. That was for that was a competition. That was can we do something?
Uh-huh.
And I'm not gonna own that car. That's gonna get sold.
True. That car's so rusty. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, buzzard.
boy.
Buzzard.
Oh, there goes the dinger.
You just threw your $300 hammer like it was $1.
That's not $300. I also
Oh,
Shout out to your daddy.
no. This is a hammer I found at one of my other jobs before I moved here, and it
Yep.
finally broke. I just got it warranted.
Brand
here,
new.
grab that. Let's take this down then.
Right, look, it's stuck on the.
I know we're gonna have to bring it down.
Jay said, makes sense when dropping the subframe and engine separately, but for pulling out from the top, I remove everything. It's just bare since.
So
Oh.
let me explain it from pulling the motor.
Oh, he said, but he said since 01 cars, you remove the entire radiator to put support.
No, so you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to remove the radiators though. So you actually ratchet strap the radiator and everything in the car. You keep it up in there, and then you just remove the subframe. And you can take everything with it. You can, but it's easier just to leave everything suspended up in the motor. And then something else on the 9.5s as a whole.
That's crazy.
You know how it's so home.
Yeah, it's
Something else that's like a little bit different than 9.5s is if you are gonna pull it through the top, you can once again do it, take the harmonic balancer off, do all that stuff. The axles, you do have to essentially pop that ball joint off to get the axles out because you have to take the axles out of to get the motor out. So at that point, you're pretty much already halfway there taking the subframe off anyways. So that's why we always say, what's the point of just pulling through the top? If we already are taking the ball joints and axles out, we're already right there. It makes more sense to just drop it. So, because you got to take axles out anyways. So now that bolt that is essentially wedged in there, we're going to have to fuck with it a little bit here. Which it'll come out. We're just going to have to play with it.
Broken one.
I have to play with it a little bit just to get it to fall.
Ew. God, Ron. You gotta play with it to get it to bust.
Don't go.
Oh, yeah.
Back to what I was saying earlier, why we keep the nuts on the ball joints, right?
God, look at that snap. Oh, look at that snapper.
Where's the bolt?
Look at how rusty the
Over.
washer is too. Like the outside of the washer is all.
This is
Oh,
not.
yuck.
So
Yeah.
now we have to extract this,
Oh,
which hopefully
So
goes
long.
easy, but sometimes is an absolute nightmare. So that might be an hour in itself getting that out. Hopefully it comes out easily, but
God dang.
that may be an extract and retap. So I'll grab that side, Ron. I'll grab this side.
Ooh.
I'll get my side off first.
Grab this, the Dawn.
There's definitely a lot of leaks.
What? No, what do you mean there's a lot of leaks? There's no leaks.
There's no leaks.
So it's the leaks.
Oh.
She is down. We're take her all the way back here.
Pause.
And
Ooh, what is the gimbal doing?
it's not horrible by any means. Definitely too much.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So now that we're under here, we can look at a few areas. So obviously, transmission did have some form of a leak. Probably
Yep.
the seal right here has definitely been leaking for quite some time. It looks like it was leaking and it stopped leaking, which means the
Magic.
transmission probably
Oh shit.
So probably low fluid on the transmission, which that's whatever. The transmission get replaced anyways. So and it's high ass mileage. However, though, there's no grinding or issues.
Yeah, it feels pretty healthy, honestly.
I'll be honest. I have not
This car feels very healthy for
many
the mileage.
9.3s or 9.5s.
Sorry.
Well,
Okay.
F25 gone.
Getting blinded by the sun.
I haven't been in too many F25, F35 cars that are over 150,000 miles. That don't have issues. So, 02 and back in particular are way more problematic. They didn't have any of the revisions. 03 and up tend to be a little better. So I'll be honest, F25, 9,000 transmissions always blow up. They're always trash. You're just screwed. If you have a 9,000, just realize you're never gonna have a reliable transmission. Even the few people out there that have the straight cut gearbox from like Maptune back in the day, there was like 10 of them made. All right, 10 or 30, I can't remember. The pitting, the material they use is so
Oh
shitty
yeah.
that the pitting is horrible, and those don't even last long. So the only way is
The
we've
shipment
had a
gets
couple
out.
customers ask if somebody wants to spend the money on an F40 conversion on 9,000.
We'll do it.
We'll do it,
But it's
just
gonna be
no one's wanted to do it yet. So we've had 2 people that have contemplated and asked us, "Is it possible?" Very possible. Can we do it? Yes.
anything is possible at snail work.
Well, no, anything's possible if you have the funding for it.
And you have the money.
Crazy enough.
Yeah.
If you're crazy enough.
So with that being said, F40 is definitely the way to go. F35. Now, if you are trying to budget build and you're in Europe, let's say, F28 is another good 6-speed option that bolts straight on and is honestly almost just as robust as the F40, I would argue. The F28 is almost as good. Not quite, but the F28s are just really hard to find nowadays. So I would say if you can get an F28 as a cheap option, if you find one cheap, that's definitely a good option as well.
Is the F28 rod or cable?
It's all rod shifter.
Yeah.
But
so
it's some people like rod shifters though, so I don't know.
I like
F28 is a rod shifter still too. I like cables better on Saabs. I like mechanical rods on
on like an
Audi.
Audi, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so something else Ron wanted to point out too. So these grounds right here on the main ground for the terminal that goes right here, it's really annoying is you go to get this outer bolt off and it's so crusty, it actually just takes the whole stud with it.
Yeah.
So, you know,
we're removing it from up top of
Yep.
the ground.
So-
Just a 10.
we're gonna have to undo it
let
up
it go
there
down.
because it'll essentially spin and just you have to take it all with it. So if
Stupid.
not, you either have to cut it here and then which we're gonna probably having to cut it anyways, to fix it properly and then essentially put a new crush circle clip on it.
Either that or you get a wrench around that and then the impact
So-
on there.
Let's go ahead and for the sake of our viewers here, let's go and see how much fluid
Ooh,
is actually in his transmission. I bet you, if I had to bet,
Work that off.
it'll trickle out. It's gonna trickle out. Oh,
Whoa.
whoa, buddy.
Whoa. Oh. And the only
Jay said that bolt came out easy on his 9.5
11.
transmission bolt.
The only 11.
That's wild.
There's 2 of them. They hold this cover over the transmission for the flywheel. Flywheel cover.
Nice.
Flywheel flight.
Shoo, shoo. Shoo. Caden's out there getting it. He's getting it. He said, "Yeah, yes, sir."
So let's see here. I'm excited because I always like
Dude,
This is the reason why I get excited with stuff like this
you always get blown away.
is because it's science and it's helping us understand the actually how good or bad something is. So if this has no fluid in it and he's been driving it for how long with a leak, that just goes to show for someone who's not romping on their car, yeah, you can get away with an F25, 35 for however many long miles. But I have a feeling that this thing was probably on its last leg, meaning it was going to probably start having issues any day.
Yeah, I'll never forget when we bought our laser red, our first laser red, and we went to drain the transmission, and it was a
Here we go.
waterfall.
Normally they don't like to come.
Normally they just strip.
And it literally came out.
So
Remember that 7 quarts in that transmission?
yep. So moment of truth. Let's see.
There.
Oh no, that's
nice and clean.
That
is
the
really
reds-
clean.
that's been properly taken care of. Someone's flushed this before.
Yeah.
So at some point it probably had a leak. Steve, you could let us know in the comments. Did it have a leak and you fixed the transmission leak, or is the
Is this a new leak?
Because there's no way that fluid is from.
I mean, it's definitely
possible.
It is pretty low. Yeah.
It is. It is.
Yeah, very good.
So even though it did have the leak, it definitely wasn't damaging it.
No.
They get.
So these are supposed to take 1.7 to 1.9 quarts, depending if it's wet or dry. So
Wait, actually, what is that?
Wait.
What is that? What is that?
that's the magnet.
No, it's not. The magnet's on here, sir.
That isn't the magnet.
See, that's the the magnet's here, guys.
No,
The magnet's on this.
Yeah, so it's a piece of metal, a big piece of metal of some sort. I just pushed it back.
Get a magnet.
Let's see what it is.
It's like, let me look up.
That magnet tool might not be small enough. We need a tiny Joni.
The little. Here, this one right here. I got it. What do we got here?
Okay.
What is that?
Ooh, that's a
a
tooth
of a gear.
That's a gear tooth. So when I say his transmission was on borrowed time,
Dude, you were
Wow.
look at that. So that if I had bet money, we'll take the transmission part just for science at some point. But if I had to bet money, that is part of his part of his fifth gear.
Oh,
If I had to bet, that was like a fifth gear. So
I thought third.
if I had to bet money because it's got the edges on it.
That's crazy. We were like, sure, that fluid looks clean, and then there's that,
Fluid was looking good.
and then there's that piece.
And then I looked up in there and I was like, oh.
Uh-oh. Crazy.
Yep. That's so we've got literally, I kid you not, we have 30 F-35s. This whole table is nothing but F-35s. I mean, that right there is probably
Oh my god.
15 F-35. We literally rebuilt a shit ton of F-35s. But I have a fifth gear here, and
Oh yeah.
there it is. That's part of his fifth gear. So his transmission, if I had bet money, one good fourth to fifth good pull, done. Transmission.
Dang.
So
He drove it down in the right time. Yeah, he's at the right place at the right time. Yeah, he drove it all the way.
Steve, I'll keep this little memento for you. We'll make a little necklace or something for you.
Yeah, you could wear it, put on a ring or
Put on
something.
a ring, yeah. So that's part of my transmission. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Be one of those weird people that keeps their husbands dead, their ashes in a diamond on their neck and stuff.
Oh,
I don't know.
that's
I don't
bad.
know. Or the people that wear their kids' teeth as necklaces and shit.
Ew. Oh gosh. Yeah, Cody got his molar pulled, and he wants to make it into a ring.
Dude, that's the engagement ring.
Oh my gosh.
Baby, here's my tooth. I mean,
He said, "I guess I shouldn't have done that 60 to 120 pull in Georgia." Yeah, that might be your souvenir from that pull.
hey, you at least made it here. That's all that matters.
You made it here. That's what matters, sir.
So we're gonna drain the oil now. See what that looks like. I have a feeling it's not gonna be bad because if it was, you'd have knock of some sort. But we're gonna see.
I'm about to find out.
13.
Is it
13. You got the light for this.
True.
See the quality.
Yeah, we're gonna judge you right now, sir.
This is what we're taking out next.
Oh yeah, your little laser pointer. The blue light. Yeah, what you doing under your car, Steve?
Oh my god.
I'm just so bad.
What you doing? Gotta look with the blue light.
Oh, he's using his new one. He's like, I'm fancy guy.
Yes, this is like this.
Yeah, yeah.
It's literally like $120. Literally one of the best tools.
Fancy guys.
Let's there we go. Truth. Let's see. How dirty is it?
Oh,
That's like,
what was that?
That's pretty.
What was that a washer that popped off? Okay, I was like, what was that? It's like
No flash for
Definitely a little stinky. Yeah, it's definitely needed an oil change, but he did just drive 1,000+ miles down. So
Yeah. True.
into the darkness.
True.
Let's see.
Ew. Oh, that's cool. It's like turned glowing green. Woo. Yeah, he says he uses Castrol.
Castrol's good. I like Castrol. I was running that mine for a while till it started to really burn oil. Then I started running this like it was like $28 for like a 5-quart jug of 540.
Shoot.
Some cheap stuff.
So I always do. I do a magnet at the very beginning is more effective, but if you do
You already cleaned it off?
this
The magnet?
didn't have.
Oh my god.
Oh no, that's contaminants from the motor.
Uh-oh.
No, I was just asking, did you
The
clean
magnet-
it off? Okay.
Dang, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, but it's all the stuff that falls off the sump.
Yeah.
The moonlight is the best.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some.
Shine on there, Ron.
There's definitely some stuff in the pan.
It doesn't look terrible though.
No.
We've definitely seen worse. He said that has 3,000 miles on the oil.
Oh, it's time for an oil change.
Yeah. Exactly. See how dark it was? See, right there. He just said that was 3,000 miles, and that oil is at its end of its life. 3,000 miles is what?
Yes.
I'm gonna run another 2,000.
6,000? No, ain't happening.
Jay said my 93 turns oil black after 300 miles, even with oil changes every 3,000 miles.
That's awesome.
Well, then if you want to, usually what ends up happening is, so particularly on the B207s, the way the oil cooler and stuff sets up on an oil change, you really don't get all the oil out, especially even on these. So it's almost black instantly when you put oil in it.
okay,
You need
makes
to
sense.
essentially do an oil change and then immediately do another
another.
oil change, and then it'll look clear. It's just the problem is when you do an oil change, you still have like half a quart.
He said, Steve said, every single thing on this car was at the end of its life, including the oil.
Yes,
Dude,
everything.
brought it here about the bust.
I mean, it did bust. So
This is a bust. That's a bust.
Transmission was a pre-bust.
Oh.
It busted a little bit, but it didn't fully bust.
Yeah.
So,
Pre-bust,
a
too.
little bit of pre-bust.
Check it out and then you have to boss.
So at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, you were on borrowed time. I mean, and like I said, when I said it just a few minutes ago, I was so surprised that it literally was not having any transmission issues. Because I'll be honest, we have not had a single Viggen come into this shop that I can remember that did not have something wrong with the transmission. Whether it be, now might had every gear and go in every gear just like your car, but as soon as the transmissions come apart, the crush sleeves are always spun.
Yep.
A gear is always missing a tooth. Synchros
Synchro.
done something. And perfect example. So
Yep.
it just comes back to my screw F-35s, F-25s. They are not good transmissions.
F40 is no way.
And once again, now something just so everyone watches too. There is a little bit of an issue when you do the F40 conversion of these cars. You get a little bit of chatter. So
Oh, that's what we're testing with this car.
he's actually our first F40 swap with a dual mass flywheel. So this is the first in the
We have
no one's
had
done it
so
yet.
many people ask.
So no one's done a dual mass. So out of our 10 that we've done so far, this is the first official dual mass flywheel. He's not making enough power that we necessarily need to go to single mass based off what he's trying to make. So he wants to get rid of that chatter. So he's going to be our first and official dual mass F40 conversion. So super cool. Something different. So every car that comes in,
Needless to
keep
say,
improving everything we're doing, which is good. So I mean, with any small business, you're constantly improving things that you do. So we've now, I don't even know how many builds that we've done at this point, but most of our customers are usually not just Saab enthusiasts. A lot of them are just car enthusiasts. So
that have a
people
Viggen.
come in. Just in the last year, we've probably had just Viggens alone. It's been at least almost 10.
Take a look at that.
What is it?
How rusty that is.
Oh yeah.
Look at that 10. There's not really much of a
The
10
stud, the
left.
stud's just gonna come out.
Oh, dang, dude.
If I can get the tool on.
Yeah, just use the long one.
That's another thing. If I can get it over the.
Oh, because it's so crusty. You be it first and then see what it does. If not, we can just, once again, we'll cut the lines and we'll just put new lines on it.
What is doing cutting?
One of the exhaust hangers is fucked up. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's a cut off. So what I was saying is so every time we have a build comer, we're slowly improving things and changing things, whether it be the way that we, build the heads and like so we've now officially between Ryan and I as a company as Snailworks, we're coming up to almost probably 150 motor builds, H series motor builds in particular. If you factor in like other motors, whether like Porsche motor, Audi motor,
200.
Ecotec, other motors. We built a bunch of motors. I mean, we're in the hundreds at this point with all motors, but specifically H series, we're over 150 by now.
Yep.
So we've and all of those except for two. So of all of those,
Oh,
only
he's
two
getting
of
it.
those were rebuilds without upgrades. So we did a B202 that was just all just refreshed without any upgrades. Then we did a B235. Stud came up, told you.
Hmm.
So of the other 150 plus have all been upgraded pistons. And
Needless to say, it never ends, and we're always improving, always growing,
it's
always
growing pains for
improving.
sure. Said it's our biggest thing is our biggest focus, I should say, is trying to offer new and improved things that this platform that essentially has not been a platform for 20 plus years almost now. And it's just doing the things that we love. We love these cars. So I mean, I love all Saabs to a certain degree, yes, but OG 93s, there's a special
There's a
place in my
special
heart
place.
because it was my first car. So
I mean, I grew up in them, so that's why I like.
all right, so now that the oil is pretty much draining off, we're gonna drain the coolant, and then once the coolant is drained, we're gonna pop our lines off. For we already have this intercooler line popped off here, but we're gonna pop off our uh coolant line up top, our coolant line right over here. It's kind of hard to get to. It's way easier once the subframe's not in there. We're gonna pop both those two coolant lines off, and then there's one up here on the side.
Dude, we live in the Matrix. Look what my dad is at the dealership getting one of their cars serviced. Look,
Oh, Demolition Man. Yeah, we just got a sick ass set of Demolition Men
that's
for the
crazy. We live in the Matrix,
and
dude.
No threat.
yeah, so Sir June was out there working on. Look at that. Yeah, that's an
You can
exhaust
come
fan.
down.
Oh my gosh.
No threads on that.
Dude, yeah, no, you don't need to cut that off. I mean, come on. What do you mean? So back to why you don't want to work on cars from up north.
Look at that.
See, Florida cars don't. This doesn't happen usually. But the car he's working on is from South Carolina, which once again they salt their roads. See, the car was originally from Washington though, so kind of makes sense. But yeah, so you just trash that, sir. So coolant's next. So oil lines, these do have to come off when you go to drop the motor. So these are officially off. I'm gonna let these dribble a little bit more.
Good on there.
Yep. So
He's trying to make goofy mess.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, usually when we make a mess with a fluid, 9 times out of 10 it's always coolant. Coolant is just like coolant or automatic transmissions. Automatic transmissions.
The transmission.
Transmissions are always just a pain in the ass.
Automatic's the worst because of the torque.
Yeah, you'll drain them, and then there's still a fucking quart of fluid in the torque converter, and then you're just like, oh. So, but we're gonna pretty much everything that's on the car, as I said, is gonna pretty much get replaced or repurposed, or I should say refreshed. So it really doesn't matter how it looks now. I'm going to PB blast that rear bolt just to see if I can get lucky with it and I'll cut it out. Let me put the PB blaster. I think Sir June, did you take the PB blaster?
Yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and PB this for a little bit and see if I can get lucky with just some vice grips to get this out while we're here. Ryan's gonna go ahead and drain the coolant. Now that the oil is drained. So you can get lucky sometimes by soaking the shit out of it. From this, these holes don't go through. This one does. And a lot of times we'll have to actually cut this out. This will actually get cut out, and then we'll end up having to weld in a new bolt and piece of metal here because they get sponged
Fun.
because people over torque the shit.
Fun.
So I'm gonna let that soak for a minute. Okay, move this out of the way. Now the coolant. We'll go ahead and get a can here.
Got a cruzzy in your
Go
eye?
ahead and lower it down.
Are those pieces of metal?
It's not from it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't clean it. There. It's out for the power steering.
Oh, okay. Oh, here we go.
Go back down, and then we're gonna go ahead and do coolant. With the coolant lines off, and once the coolant drained, and the 2 lines are off of the coolant, motor's ready to come out. Well, axles get popped,
Yes.
too. I forgot.
I'm gonna s-
But the reason why we drain the transmission is because when you pull the axle, it makes a little mess.
Makes sense.
Okay, so I've got that over there on your cell phone.
I'm gonna switch you guys to the tripod again. Just charge up the gimbal again while they're stay in this place. Sorry for the brief disruption. The beef disruption.
Beef to
The beef disruption. Okay. Get in here. Alrighty. Just remember you guys are on the tripod now.
Yeah, don't be too crazy up there.
Don't be too crazy. Make sure you walk up to it and show kids.
No, I was telling that. Don't be too crazy on the
Oh, yeah, because they can't be prepared this time. Okay. Gimbal charging.
So I just removed the lower coolant hose.
We used those Nipex he was talking about earlier. Sorry, guys.
Nipex are the best Nipex. They're like $65, so they're a little expensive, but they're definitely worth it.
God, you've used those things so many times.
So it's gonna piss fluid out everywhere. So make sure our pan is lined up here. Too big of a mess.
We always make a mess.
Cool. We want to make more.
Oh man, yep. It's just making a mess.
Which will mop up. Which you can. Okay, so someone's gonna say, I'll just say it for you. You can remove the petcock, and you can remove the petcock and everything to do this properly. His is so crusty and just it's there's no point. So it's just gonna break. And we already know it. So we're literally just popping the hook. It's like
no, it's not.
it's crusty.
Well, it's plastic and it's not crusty.
No, exactly. Plastic and crusty. So
not-
you go to Tornado, it's break.
It doesn't look crusty. It looks like
He said,
radiator's
Ron
been-
says it does look crusty. It's crusty.
too, so
Steve, has the radiator's been replaced? I
From-
would assume yes. No.
it was in the front end accident.
That's like one second.
This saying it's crusty. I don't think it looks
Ah!
It's alright.
He was laughing at you guys.
Yeah, exactly. It is funny. Laugh it up.
So it's I had that coolant hose.
Jace asked if the two-tone pre-facelift NG93 bit has been back. I would assume he's talking about Bo's car, which
Yep.
I can't remember what we're waiting on with his car. Pretty much just needs to get dialed.
He's starting to see him come in for a final tune. His car right now is making probably like 380. With essentially a base map. So when his car comes back in, we're gonna tune it. It's set up to make 500 wheel, but he wants it right around like 450. So we're gonna set his up for 450. His turbo kit is not like wouldn't be the way that I want to go with a different turbo. So we offer
Very laggy.
a TDO5
Looks
B207
nice.
turbo kit.
That's on Jason's car.
Yeah, that's a little more affordable, and then we're gonna offer a G series turbo kit option. We've contemplated on offering a manifold that just bolts onto a standard TDO4 with a T25 flange. But if you're gonna spend that money and do all that, I think at that point the SEEK you might as well just go to a better turbo. So that's why we're like TDO5 as a slight upgrade that's affordable, and then like a G25 or a G30 that'll allow you to make anywhere between 600 to 700 brake. So
Doing okay out there?
I don't know.
Probably check on him. Go check on him, Ron.
He's got his exhaust down. He's good.
Oh, good. Awesome. That's what he was doing.
This unplug yet too is the O2 or the AC plug wire. Needs to also be unplugged, and that's kind of like tucked away.
Yeah, Steve said he actually replaced it because the radiator blew.
Yeah, see, it wasn't crusty. You just
Yeah.
didn't even-
But
Crusty.
he said the accident wasn't that bad. It was just a slow speed fender bender and the radiator was fine.
Okay. Makes sense. Those make sense.
It's For the AC line that I'm taking out right now, you can technically get it without taking the headlight out if you're lucky. Sometimes they like to get stuck. You may have to take the headliner or the headlight out.
The headliner, yeah, the headliner has to come out.
So just like really not taking that out.
Yeah, the headliner has to come out to remove the motor, actually. That's step one.
The headliner and the well, to be fair, I guess you could say the headliner on the hood. I guess that's it.
The hood liner.
Oh my gosh. What is that up here?
Bit here. Yeah, that's really crusty.
Shoo.
Steve's AC. I got it off, but it's crusted on. So
How is it off then?
I got the plastic shrouding was off, but you see how it's like just
Yeah,
so that came off. But got it off without breaking, so that's a good thing.
Shoo.
So now I should unclip the. Ow! I crashed that thing. Wood. Yeah.
Yeah, Jay said if you were to upgrade the manifold, he'd go to a different turbo platform. And then he said, no hood for my car. And if I do, it'll be a spare hood I cut into.
Yeah, so if
You mean a hood exit?
do a hood exit, we could do a hood exit all day. And if you want to do whether it be an internal gated TD05 that would be affordable, or if you want to do an external gated like G series or just a GTX maybe. That's all things we can help you with. All very easy. Okay.
Do we still have a tow hitch off of my car?
We
Or any engine that we do? A good heavy rated one? Na-na-na-na-na-na.
Oh, starving.
I know, I'm so hungry. Ron's getting it. So not sure how many people know or not, but Ron has been a Saab enthusiast his entire life. He was born into it.
Yep.
Literally born into it. His dad was a Saab master tech, and he grew up literally in Saabs. And a Viggen has always been one of his dream cars. And he got one. He has a steel gray, really clean, nice 3-door. He's actually getting ready to build. So he just got all the parts and everything for it. So that's exciting. So that'll be a nice build. Jace, I am filming off of Cody's phone. You can text me whatever you want.
Okay.
So you could show the damage.
Clutch line is the last thing up here.
How's Junie doing out there? Ah! Somebody's selling the 993 GT2 for $50.
$50.
The PlayStation one that Hot Wheels buys.
Oh, that. I thought you.
Oops. Crap.
Yeah, that's good.
Clutch line.
And then also
Steve asked what your build is going to be, Ron.
just starting out, honestly, I'm just gonna put it back to F-35 with 19T. And honestly, as time goes on, I'm gonna do an F-40.
He's gonna build it up. He's gonna do an F-40 swap, of course.
But I know I'm doing it at 40.
He really just wants to get the car running so he can have another car that
Because ironically, the block, including one of yours, probably because this one's probably gone. But we have 3 freshly machined over board over blocks. One of his being his, and then 2 being just ours for customers. Um, one of those blocks that we just freshly got done will actually go for your car, Steve. So we were kind of
Yeah,
waiting,
his car was done
to
too
get
by
the
his
thumbs up
field.
from the machine shop that the blocks were about to be done or done before we started your car. So
He said, "I have an F-35 for sale." Is that the one you want in your car? It comes with the
Yeah.
extra piece of 5th gear.
No,
Your transmission was healthy, right?
in mine,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just
for
about,
how long?
yeah.
during like launching or anything like that. I did blow up my first ever Saab. I did a launching and the day
He's hot rodding.
yeah, the day after I blew the diff blew up. F-25.
So your clutch line, so Steven's clutch line 2 that's in here, we're gonna upgrade him. Obviously, when we go to F40, the clutch line changes anyways. But the clutch line that was in here is literally on its last leg. It's
It's
barely
tough.
hanging on, so it's pretty much too. So um
Oh, let's see. Jay sent pictures of the valves. Oh my gosh.
oh yeah, I've seen worse. That's bad.
But look, that's the good stuff. Work the kiss pistons.
Oh, your pistons are done, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can
These
see.
ones done.
Yep.
Yeah, you're trying to start it. I was like, yeah, you're just gonna make it worse.
Oh, sorry.
No compression.
If Steve shaves his head, he will become the Dominic Toretto of Stanford. Shoo! So much power, the chassis twisted off the line.
Steve was saying how so his interior. So we're actively have a piece of the blue leather with a upholsterer that there's working with a leather company see if we can actually
Yeah, we
replicate
just sent it.
just a piece of leather to a leather manufacturer to actually start making the new or making leather for the blue cars in particular. We have a bunch of them ourselves, so it only makes sense for us to from our you know repurposing of the cars that we have to sell. But Steve was saying how his friends make fun of him all the time because
Yeah, I would assume this is one of Steve's friends.
and
Yeah, apparently his friends make fun of him because his interior's clapped.
yeah.
Aw,
But his
poor
interior,
guy.
the thing is, his interior is not bad for the mileage.
It's not. We've seen worse.
It's way worse.
That one
I just
is like
think
super
it's really-
out frost.
Jay said, Ron, we both know it was cooked from the get go.
Yeah.
That car was definitely cooked, Jay's.
Well, you bought for, you bought for.
Yep. That definitely bought it for what it was worth.
Yeah, no, I told you.
No, no.
That's all.
I know. Oh, that brake fluid. Holy shit, that's
Is
so
it bad?
much.
That's fine.
Okay, I'm taking you guys off the tripod 1 second. Sorry, it's not as good because I don't have the gimbal right now.
Look at that brake fluid.
Ew, voodoo. That's probably why his clutch feels so
Yeah,
weird.
your clutch is horrible.
Yeah, Steve, you know how your clutch feels like ass? Yeah, that's probably why.
Brake your fluid is done, dude.
He said, "What's the latest on the leather company?" So we actually just sent in a sample piece from a clean Viggen seat, that a rear seat that we had, so that they think they just received it literally just a few days ago. So we're trying to get it recreated, needless to say, but hopefully we'll have something figured out soon.
I know, but it's just
How's-
best to
how's
keep
it-
it.
how's it-
Ew.
Ah,
Oh,
you-
it's like Hershey squirt texture.
yeah.
Brake fluid was replaced recently by a hack garage when I blew the
Well, they
brake
just
line.
drained the reservoir and just put new in the reservoir. They didn't flush the full system.
Yeah,
That
it's
would mean they would have done a clutch bleed and all your brake bleed, which they
Look at this crazy guy.
would you, sir? Need help?
Nothing.
Explain.
There he goes.
We
Shoot. Yeah, that clutch line's pretty bad. That's for sure. Look at the cracks in it. Dang. Can't wait to see this engine bay transform, isn't that right? That's always fun seeing engine bays become really nice. That's for sure. It's gonna be buzzard. Oops, sorry, Ron.
How many people on there?
Currently, we have 13 viewers, but the most we had at one time, I think, was like around 20.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
Yes, sir. We've been going for over 2 hours now. Phew. Long live stream. Hopefully, you guys aren't bored. I think we always try to have fun in the shop. Oh, we just got another viewer. Another viewer just tuned in. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Currently, Cody's helping Kaden outside with the subframe nonsense. Watching this to learn since I'm doing it in a few days. Well, it is definitely a bit different with the 9.5, Jace. There's a few other things that you do. Don't you pull the wiring harness with the motor on a
you can
9.5?
do either or,
Yeah.
honestly. It doesn't, it's like, technically, it's like easier to just leave the wire harness, pull the cowling up, and pull the harness off of the ECU.
Yeah.
And it is easier to just leave the harness on the car. But like it also the taking the wiring harness like I did off of this Viggen is basically the same on a 9.5.
Yeah.
All this up mounts in the same
Jace was saying he's watching because he's doing the same on his car in a few days. I said it's a bit different
It is.
for 9.5.
I was telling you
All right, so all the line, everything's off, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it's ready to come out. So there's two ways you can do this. So you can either lower it onto a cart, which is one way,
We do.
or we can lower it onto just like for the other day. I was putting an OG in the other day by myself, and I'll literally just put the motor and transmission just slightly elevated on either a pallet or whatever. We usually use a cart. It's usually just to put it lowered onto a cart. Um, but what we'll do is we'll get a cart underneath it. We're gonna clean up first real quick. Do a quick mop.
Yeah, so we're not slipping and sliding everywhere because we're, as much as we try to keep clean with coolant, it does always like to make a mess. She's going up again, boys. Here she goes. Shoo. Sent you guys to the gimbal again. Doo-doo. Back on the gimbal. Okay.
So one other thing, if you're doing this yourself and you don't want to save yourself the headache, you can actually just take off the AC compressor and leave it in the car, so you don't have to discharge your AC system. We've already discharged the AC system, but we do need to undo these two bolts here for the AC. That's our last two things that are technically holding the motor into place as of lines and wiring goes. So I'm gonna go ahead and undo those two, and then
That's the
after,
only thing holding the motor up there.
no, that's what they're holding
thought-
holding up the next step. So once those are off, all we'll have to do then is undo
That's
the
it.
two bolts that hold this mount, and then the two bolts on that mount, which will have a cart underneath it. And the cart will be sitting essentially on the oil pan and the transmission. And then once we undo those, it'll just be on the cart. We'll undo the mount that's holding the the cross beam mount up top, and then it'll just be sitting. But before the other step, as we said earlier, is the axles. So axles, AC lines, and that's it. And then it'll be ready to come out. So I'm gonna go.
Shoo.
We're gonna mopping this up. I'm gonna take these out first, and then we're gonna mop off real quick. AC typically, these lines, they actually last a while. We don't replace a lot of AC lines, but we are going to be replacing some of the AC lines on Steve's car here because when you go to an F40, you do have to relocate one line. The one line, there's not enough room and clearance around the side of the engine bay to run the line, both lines in the stock location. So we actually end up having to run this line actually this way and up the back. So the one line that essentially sits in here, the larger line, will actually get twisted or essentially turned. So this will essentially come out in a 90 this way, and then we'll actually follow that all the way up into the back. So that is one thing you do have to do is make a custom AC line when you do an F40 conversion as well. On a 9.5, you don't have to do that though. And this
broke.
happens all too often. It's crusty, it's PB'd or not, broke.
Meh,
Here's what it
Chrysler.
is. Once again, as I said, it doesn't matter because this line is getting replaced anyways. So that really doesn't make a difference. But kind of could tell it was gonna break anyways. This one's more problematic than this one. This one usually comes out. Let's see here. Like I said, they're already PB'd, but this one's usually more forgiving. And for anyone else, this is not an impact. This is just an electric socket. So this essentially does not have the same I would call it damaging effect. If you have a weaker bolt, you don't want to impact on certain things. Still sound like there's a little bit of AC still in there. I'm gonna let it sit. We already discharged the system, but the one
Oh,
pressure side is still gonna have a little bit. Sounds like.
sorry, environment.
Sorry. Doesn't sound just like a whistle. That's all that. This wasn't a lot. I knew it was wood.
Oh, dang. Still some hidden in there, I guess.
My God, this is a little bit water.
Oh, that's brake fluid?
That's brake fluid. Yeah.
Ew. Look at that, Steve.
What would brake line maybe rusted? Yeah, I have a
That's
feeling
true. Rusty brake line.
it definitely needs. Now Steve has also opted. He wants us to upgrade at least the fronts to a 4-piston setup. So we haven't actually decided which setup he wants to go with yet, but we're either going to be doing the Porsche 4-piston caliper or a GM Brembo 4-piston caliper. We haven't officially gotten to that step of the build, but that's something else that will be happening as well.
When you're making more power, you need to be able to stop. That's what we say.
For some people, in my opinion, if you want to make a car fast, the first thing you do on it,
Brakes and suspension.
suspension and brakes.
Yep.
You will have a
Fast on the
faster
track.
car at the track than if you throw more power at it, almost always. And the reason for that is when you're going to your turn, you're able to stop much later, keep that momentum up. At the end of the day, if you're stopping later and going through the turns and accelerating quicker because you stop sooner, arguably gives you better lap time. So if you're on axles, you're gonna get the axles out. Oh, you look giant. Yeah, so this
You can't read.
T line is gonna be so I'm gonna have to get that apart. It's gonna be problematic.
Jay said, I got a Chinese electric ratchet. It's pretty great. Would be nice to have the extended reach, but I only have M18 tools. Been looking on Marketplace for one to pop up. Milwaukee's the way, sir.
It is the way. It is the way. Yeah, so this AC line.
He said he got a T5 head to rob the cams off of, and he's going to pick up a good T7 head later this week.
Yeah, I told him.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, so that's fine.
I was telling Cody how you were gonna use the valves out of that.
You got to have a T7 head, obviously, for a
Yep.
T7 car. Now you can run a T7 head on a T5 car, if you do a bunch of like modifications to the intake manifold. But
Or you could just put a full T5 motor in it, like Ryan just did with his car.
yeah, Ryan did full T.
Yeah, you have to have a custom.
The only custom thing that was really only needed was the intake.
Yes, custom intake manifold to be able to run the T5.
That was the only thing though. Then you can do.
Not a lot of people do a full
Easy peasy.
G95 or no G93 typically, because you have to make custom intake manifold. But you can essentially just plop in a whole B234 or B235 or
A B204.
But all you have to do is you do have to modify the intake manifold. So there's a couple of people that have done it over the years. We are 5-door Lightning Blue. We have a 5-door Lightning Blue that had a B234 in it, a full B234 head and bottom end. So that was kind of a cool build, I guess you could say. But didn't need a hand. That's a good bitch. You can go grab the axle. I already got the axle. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he already used our fancy dealer axle tool.
So somebody's also gonna ask too. If you're a Viggen person, obviously we all know you can't get new Viggen axles. We're actually working with a shop too. We're actually in the process of essentially making brand new axles for our F40 kit. We have to make a custom axle anyways for the Viggens because it needs to be about 25 millimeters shorter. So we're making that anyway as a whole brand new. We've been doing one off, making a custom one, taking a stock Viggen and just shortening it. But now we're actually making a full brand new one. We're also going to be in theory making brand new Viggen full axles as well. That's something that we've been wanting to do for a while. So that's on the woodworks as well. We're not physically making it, we're working with someone else that is going to be making it for us. So
In this stuff,
pretty
the reverse sensor.
oh, yeah.
That's it.
Other
If you wanna, no, it's just gonna stay.
I just gotta get this.
That's just gonna stay here.
So if you want to grab the mop, let's mop up real quick, and then I'll get this. Oh, I don't know, do we? I'll grab some pigments. So let's grab that tray, dump the tray, and then grab some pigments for alcohol. Stevie. Steve.
Cosworth.
Yeah, we're probably just gonna have to cut it. Have to replace that AC line. It's too crusted. Well, so both are gonna get replaced.
Cruzzy. Oops, sorry. Ron's doing a little cleanup with the piggy mats.
So
We have a bunch of them in the blue cabinet too, Ron.
this AC line just getting cut. And this is gonna have to get replaced as well because at the end of the day, this is so flipping soothed in there. Aluminum on aluminum. Anyone that works on Audis, you know this. Audi loves to put aluminum parts toward like aluminum bolts and aluminum components, and they just seize together and they calcify. So essentially, that's what's happening because these are actually aluminum bolts. So that bolt essentially snapped off in there is literally just the hour it would take me to get out. It's cheaper for us just to do another AC line. So save money for Steve in the long run. So that's it. That's everything is officially off. So we're gonna
Got the
finish
stack.
wiping up some
The stack.
here, and then we'll then put it on the cart and
My pig mats don't jiggle jiggle. They fold.
Alice's dad jokes.
Or like stupid
More like Gen.
brain rot references.
My song just growled at me.
I know I'm starving. Easter.
Yeah, and Steve, if you're watching too,
Oh, it got me on my neck.
Got
you,
necked.
so you actually went and had lunch with us at Culver's the one day you were here, and we got our burger.
Oh yeah, we got
We
a
got
Blackstone.
Blackstone shop.
Yeah, so I grill them up.
Every day.
He said time for triple patty platter from Culver's.
Yep. And so now we're making them at the
Yeah, we make them. I cook them up at the shop now.
the other day that
We've been doing Wagyu beef burgers. Yeah.
What do you want?
What do you want? We've been feasting it all. And then we get all of our unique little cheeses. We got pepper jack. That's what Ron had the other day. It was like this triple pepper jack. That was super buzzard. But yeah,
Pound of meat.
yeah, we just each do a pound package of ground beef and we've been just trying the different meats and everything. But the Blackstone is awesome. We love the Blackstone. It's sick. But yeah, we still like Culver's. We love our triple patty palooza on the patio. That's what they say. We're the patties on the patio.
For real. I wanted to take my mom there yesterday, but
Ron's doing the cleanup.
didn't.
Has she had Culver's before?
No, I wanted to
What?
take her yesterday, but
Mama Russell needs to try Culver's.
we weren't there.
Shoo. Culver's is buzzard. Is she staying at your place?
She's on the way to the grandparents.
Nice.
Okay.
Did she like your new apartment better than your old one?
I mean, no, she like doesn't really like the area.
Yeah. Tampa.
Yeah.
Ybor City area is no bueno.
Nah.
At least the inside of the apartment is nice though.
Yeah.
Ripper. Oh my.
Let's see. Jay said they're building a Canes right next to my Harbor Freight. I'm so excited. You guys are so bad with your Canes fried voodoo.
Yeah, or any
Nasty. Voodoo
hey.
Canes.
I remember one time though when I first became friends with Jace, we did go to I think it was Dave's Hot Chicken or something. It was pretty good.
You guys went there?
Yeah. It was, we
Shoot.
stopped like before we.
I remember I think I took him and Alyssa to Canes one day. And I just sat there and watched them eat the Canes. And not gonna lie, I was like, ooh, it kind of smells buzzed down. But I didn't eat it.
Yeah.
Jay said Dave's hot chicken was fire.
Thanks. Remember.
Shoot, he's gonna be busting down some Canes.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, no, what they opened near us, they opened a Whataburger in Largo. We have been there a couple times on cheat days, not gonna lie. And it's pretty buzzed down. Jay said, yes, you did, and it was delicious. Yep. Just watched you guys feast it. Dude, that's the place though, because when I lived in St. Augustine, Zaxby's was the place. So when I was younger, that's where everybody went with Zaxby's. And they actually had good chicken wings. That ain't gonna go around here.
Whoa.
They ain't gonna go around.
Roy Rogers. Okay.
Roy Rogers! Ron is Roy Rogers. Does anybody know what Roy Rogers
They're
is in the
not-
chat?
Not good though.
No, they aren't that good.
The best fast food, I don't care anyone says, it goes in this order. And I hate to say it because I'm really not as better, but it goes this order in my opinion. In and out, definitely.
Oh, In and Out is
For-
bussin'.
Yeah, but that's like redneck nastiness. Like you're talking about the cookout. It's like on down 75. You see them on all the signs, like every exit, right?
Well, the one I had was in South Carolina.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, it goes. So that's number one. And then we're talking solely fast foods. But if we're talking like chains,
He commented, Steve commented Coke and Grenadine. Yeah, not that Roy Rogers. The Roy Rogers, the
Roy
fruit
Rogers,
chicken.
Roy Rogers, is technically a Manhattan, but instead of using whiskey, you're using Scotch, which then becomes Roy Rogers out of Manhattan. So that's the difference between a Roy Rogers and you use vermouth, Scotch, whatever. But back in the day when I used to drink, I don't drink now. But it goes In and Out Burger for sure.
In and Out is
And
definitely
then number
down.
two for me is Whataburger, which is
I don't know. I feel like
whatever. Steak and Shake is now
White
making
Castle.
White Castle is
So
it's
bad,
so
but
thick,
so
though.
good.
It's not good. I could eat if I had to eat In and Out every day. I could eat White Castle
Oh,
once
In
a
and Out is buzzed down.
maybe if I
Because when you eat White Castle, you stink
no,
like
White Castle's
it,
disgusting.
and you're burping onions.
But the one thing that I would argue is if you are in the Carolinas and you have Sully steamers,
Oh, Solely Steamers, that's the buzzer down.
but it's not quite big enough to be a chain because they only have like.
Oh, Steve said Five Guys. Five Guys is pretty good.
Guys is just expensive.
It's so expensive for what it is.
Like,
It's crazy. But
yeah.
I do agree. I do like Five
I would
Guys.
go with, in my opinion, I would go Whataburger before Five Guys because it's more affordable and it's a bigger patty. But Penn Station too.
Josh
Penn
Lee.
Station.
Oh, Penn Station's amazing.
Penn Station.
Best subs on earth. Josh Lee said Culver's. Yep, we love.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
Culver's.
nice.
Culver's on top. That's
So good.
if you weren't listening or if you've just joined, Culver's is usually where we used to go every day, and we just literally just get their beef patties with cheese. We don't get a bun or anything.
too.
But now we cook up at the shop on a little Blackstone grill for lunch for everyone. But Jay said In-N-Out is amazing. Haven't had a chance to have Whataburger, and I've only had shakes from Steak and Shake. Dang. Yeah, Steak and Shake's pretty good actually, especially now that they switched to beef tallow fries.
$3-5 with the Bitcoin, you can go right now.
Yeah, I get the Bitcoin meal, but they have the beef tallow fries and grass-fed beef. But we do just every day eat steak and eggs pretty much. Do the occasional cheat day, or if we're on the road, we do eat bad on the road, but just eat the same fucking thing every single day.
Yeah.
Yep, steak and eggs. Okay, we got the card out, everyone.
Cart, lift table, transmission jack. It really just depends. We use different things every day. It just
We literally change it up all the
active
time.
somewhere else. Yeah. So you need to have a long enough table that clears your front bumper too. So that's another issue. So
because they still sit basically right up.
it'll sit pretty much on the edge of the table.
Like
So,
the oil pan would be like right here.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
drain bowl.
Jay said Alyssa's about to whip up some shrimp Alfredo. We eat steak 3 times a week. Ooh, shrimp out buzzard.
let's do it. Let's
Bussin'.
pull those tabs and drop.
We gotta quit talking about food, dude. I'm like gonna die. I'm not eating today. I haven't eaten. But let me get that tea. Let me get a sippy of that ocha. Slug.
Yeah, go right there too. All right, so this is gonna go. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Keep on. A little bit more. 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 That's it.
There it is.
So now that we have it on the table, we're gonna go ahead and remove this section up here. It helps if you are a little taller for this step. Like I said, if you can use a lift table as well. You can use, like I said, sometimes in front of tents, we'll just use a crate. And it depends on
It depends on what is being used up.
yeah, if we're doing multiple motor drops at the same time, there's always a million things going on. So it just depends what's going on that day. You know what's up on that side real quick?
Ew. Well, empty burp.
Empty. Still don't know what that means.
Cody does not understand the empty burp.
Well, burping is an illustration. You're burping out gases, so that is volume.
You can suck in air
And that's a gas still. So empty would be nothing. That'd be like you're in a
It doesn't
vacuum.
taste like it. You haven't eaten
So
it.
Ryan is undoing the mount on that side, so it's two bolts up underneath. That essentially is going to
He's in the crib.
alleviate- that's going to alleviate
Got it.
that mount on that side, and then once he does this side, the motor essentially just going to be
And
sitting.
you go shoo shoo shoo. Shoo.
Yeah, it could be like my car, and these could just be stripped out.
Yeah. So if you do have an OG93, be aware. What can happen too is they're prone. This mount on this side, it was kind of poorly engineered. I'll be honest.
Are you talking about the one that almost killed you?
Yeah, multiple times. The bolt that actually goes in there is not
Shout out to Craig if he's on.
quite strong enough. So they end up actually breaking on time. So you'll be driving one of these, and also you'll just feel the motor go puff, and then that
Ugh.
side mount, the mount doesn't fail. The bolt that holds
That happened when
mount
we were driving the
actually-
booger. That was so funny.
Back, like push the car back. Well, I'm not trying to lift it up. Actually,
we have to look at
push the car up.
Yeah.
Jay said the mounts in my 9.3 are beyond cooked. It's honestly impressive. Yep, that's NG93 things. Everything's gonna be fucked. Oh, what was that? Oh, a little thing fell down.
Good. Make sure we're clear here, right? All right. A little bit cool.
A little bit of coolant pizzard.
So the only thing to make sure too is there is the front portion of on the manifold itself, there's a little nub that sticks out that's originally for the heat shield. So when you are lowering or taking that out, that loves to just take out the fan shroud. Now he's gonna be going to a custom slim fan anyways with the turbo kit, so it's kind of irrelevant. But like, so I just make sure you're careful when you're doing this because that little bit of nub is just enough to just take everything.
Yep. Josh said, "What is your favorite car besides a Saab? What else do you daily drive? We love our Audis. We love our
So
Porsches.
my
They're-
favorite car is not a Saab. So what? That's where you go. My
Oh.
favorite car is not a Saab.
Hold up. Important things are occurring. Various things are occurring. Oh, he's getting pissed on. Oh my gosh. Ryan literally just got absolutely drenched by that. Oh, good. You missed it.
Good. That was his intercourse.
Here she comes.
Go ahead. That was just. You're good.
Yeah.
There it is. So that was 2.5 hours and lots of talking. And the motor's
Yeah,
out.
but in at the end of the day, though, we just kind of have it down to a science. So it's gonna if a shop's probably gonna quote you 11 hours. We don't quote that, but a lot of shops will quote you 11 hours. Maybe they'll quote you 8. I just don't. I don't know. It really just depends. Like I said, usually Ryan and I have.
Also depends short block, long block.
Yeah.
Accessories
Yeah, so
takes a
it's
lot
gonna
of
take a
time.
lot of analysis. Now we're gonna take everything off of this. We're gonna show you guys what the inside of the motor looks like. So we're gonna go ahead and take everything off of this real quick. So you can see. Let's see what the life of his motor looks like. We kind of already know what the life of the transmission looks like. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of see what can be salvaged, what can't be salvaged as well. So we're gonna actually get this pulled forward so we can see. We're gonna go ahead and start taking some stuff off here, um, so we can kind of see what's what.
So,
Back to the question.
yes, other favorite
So,
cars.
um, something that I always like to tell people, Saab's not my favorite car, but I like to describe Saab as it's not the best at anything.
It's perfectly above average in
So
every
if you
category.
had to give a car a 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10 rating in, let's say, 5 categories, a Saab is going to be above average in every single category. It's going to be pretty decent in performance, pretty decent in drivability, pretty decent reliability. Honestly, way better on safety. Obviously, we all know that. So, but if you compared it to 911, 911 is going to murder in performance, arguably, unless we're talking 40 to 70 miles per hour, which anyone that knows anything about Saabs knows that 40 to 70 torque curve that they did
That's insane.
faster than 911 turbo of the common year. But in the grand scheme, 911 is going to be better performance in almost every way. But the 911 isn't necessarily going to be a good daily. You can't haul your kids in. You can't use it as a wagon or, go pick up the mulch from, the hardware store where you can in your wagon. So Saabs, I don't ever say are the best in any category because they're not. Safety is pretty much it. So I always say Saab is a great car and I love them to death because of how long I've owned them. I know a lot about them. I think they're great for the money. I don't think there's another car that you can buy and tune for as cheaply as you can a Saab and make the power that you can make reliably. So I would say Saab is definitely up there in the grand scheme of things. But Audi and Porsche are definitely my favorite cars. I've had multiple 911s. I've had multiple Audis, whether it be TTRS, S5s. We've got two S4s, one that we've actively sold already. The other one is we're going to be probably selling as well. We have an RS7, absolutely love that. But if I had to say my favorite car, like if I could only ever drive one car and it would have to be the rest of my life and I could only pick one car, it would be probably a 997.1 997 turbo, which I've owned one. And we're probably going to own another one here sooner than later. So 997.1 is probably my favorite car. If I could only pick one car to drive for the rest of my life, I would say 997.1 GT2, which I would buy a 997.1 turbo and then just convert it to a GT2.
Yep.
Save yourself a lot of money. But
About $1 million.
911, if you take out Porsche, my actual favorite car there's two, and it's kind of a tie. That would be a C5 RS6 or a C7 and a half 8 RS6. The RS6 is it's a wagon, love it. Um, both of them I can manual swap, which is what I would do. When we can legally import in about a year, or what's like 2 years, I guess. RS6 C5, that's definitely on the list of one.
Yeah, Jace makes a valid point too about affordability. He's like, look at my invoices for my 9.3. It's nothing compared to a BMW.
And
It's true. Same goes for Audi as well. You do a timing chain on a Saab, it costs you maybe 2 grand
yeah,
for a
the
NG
problem-
9.3 2 liter.
so it's
You compare it to a 2 liter Audi. and
it's frustrating when people get mad. Like, so we'll have a lot of people that'll come in here and spend 25 to $40,000 somewhere in that window on Saabs. And even like Steve here, he's spending a decent amount of money on this.
A lot,
Most
yeah.
of them are 40 conversion cars.
End up being
uh,
a lot.
you're not leaving the shop without usually spending 25 to $30,000 if you're doing a motor, a turbo kit, and a transmission. So 25 to 35 is very realistic for a lot of customers. So if
But then you take the 911 world of things
yeah,
and you're spending 5 times as
same
much.
thing on whether it be a 911 or an Audi, you're going to double that. So you cannot get the performance for the money
Like you can't out of a
outside of
Saab.
anything else. Like especially a 1999 OG 93. It's not my favorite car, but if you literally wanted a first car and you want a car that you can reliably say, I'm going to put maybe you buy it for $1,000 and you say, I'm going to put 5 grand in it. You take four of that 5 grand, you do a proper transmission, and you take that other thousand, you find a junkyard HX35, some fuel injectors, a pump, and maybe a manifold, which you really should do. And then you got 400 wheel reliably. There's not very many cars you can do that. So
It's true.
literally for literally less than 10 grand, you
Saabs are
can
great for the money and what they are. They're amazing. And it comes back to just maintenance as well. And like Cody was saying, the ability to build a car for as affordably as you can. Because as soon as you get into the Audi world, it literally you're spending way more money. That's for sure.
yeah, any other car brands, unless and that's what's frustrating with us with the Saab community a lot of times. It's a lot of the Saab people they're cheap asses. I'll just be honest. I'm a Saab person. A lot of other customers.
Well, you were young and a cheap ass at the end of the
Everybody,
day.
when you get into Saab, you buy because it's affordable. And it's like, oh, but what problem is a lot of these young guys, especially people that are 18, 19 years old, they're buying NG93s now for $500,000 and they're wanting to throw 4 or 500 wheel horsepower without doing the basic maintenance first. So you buy one, you do
You get it
back,
sorted,
you
get it
get
sorted.
and then you build it, or then you throw power at it. So,
True.
so now with this motor, now that it's all out, as you can see, we have everything obviously in the engine bay.
Here you go, Steve. She's empty. Haha, Jason, I'm a cheap ass. You know this. Yeah,
It's really not that bad.
not that bad at all.
Give you an invoice, you just pay it.
You don't
Other people get an
complain.
invoice, I'm like, you at least you just pay it without issue. But so obviously there's some areas. So tow hook was here. Obviously we had a tow truck driver at some point, do a little here. But that's not anything we can't do a quick fix on. Obviously a little rust here. I'm gonna see if this is ready to come out soon. We're gonna have to replace both these AC lines. Obviously will be custom, so those will be changed. We'll come in here, clean some of this up, depending on how much detailing Steve wants us to do, how crazy he wants us to go. Some of the components will get changed, some of them will get cleaned up.
Active drip.
Really though, the rust wise,
Right.
the worst of it really isn't that bad. This is pretty bad.
We've seen way worse.
Which you can see there is some structural damage here. So
Yeah.
I may need to actually come in here, cut this out, re-weld this section in here. That's not anything too bad though. We've definitely seen way worse. So
Very savable.
this is by no means that bad. And this right here, these are always rusty and crusty. This line,
Hey, Duncan.
string lines,
Oh my goodness. About a
that
buzz.
needs to be replaced.
About a
That's,
buzz.
that's really bad. It's about to
That is gonna but
any second.
It's literally about a buzz.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So there's definitely, as Steve said earlier, he said it perfectly. Everything was pretty much failing on his way down. So
Yep.
everything was at the end of it.
It was in need of this overhaul.
So
That's
he
for sure.
said that.
oh man.
Even the
Jeez,
brakes, that brake caliper's done. So
What is that?
So that
What?
Rotor. That
What?
rotor is like not being
let's say the brake
used.
Yeah, that brake caliper.
caliper.
Well, there's your excuse for the brake kit, sir.
this side too.
Oh damn.
Oh.
Bearings look like they're on their last leg.
But this one doesn't look
That one looks fine. This one looks.
Oh, that looks like it's been replaced.
that one's got like a bunch of crozzies and
And then this
what
is
is that?
shield done. Shield's done. So yeah.
Gosh.
So definitely brakes definitely need to be done. So that's good.
Good.
So now we're gonna go ahead and it's crazy. I always love it. So for anyone that doesn't know, in
Oh,
1999.
some streets.
Oh yeah, a little acorn tree.
Acorn treats. Mmm.
Yummy.
Acorn treats. For anyone who doesn't know this, in
two-piece.
1999 and 98, depending on what part of the world you're in, it's actually a two-piece manifold. So it's actually a really cool design. And we get asked this occasionally that someone will ask, why did Saab get away from the two-part manifold? Well, the main reason they got away from it is from a cost standpoint. It's way more money to make two-piece than it is just a one-piece. Two, you don't have any support, obviously, for the injector. So the way the injectors actually work in this is it actually has air that actually flows from the intake manifold. It actually surrounds for better ionization on the actual fueling. So it keeps the fuel cool. So it's really cool design. But if you're trying to go past anything other than stock power and or how should I say fueling, you're kind of screwed. So cool design, but we'll get away from it and go to a custom intake manifold.
Yeah, Steve said that the bearing was replaced 5 years ago, and Jason was like, "That thing looks brand new."
Yeah. yeah.
We may have to do like some form of remission. Your phone's at 10%, and we've been
Yeah.
filming for 3 hours.
Yeah. So well, no, and then it's at this point, what we'll do is obviously we got the motor out for anyone. We are going to film more with Steve's car as we're doing stuff to it. We can probably just call the video short. We can then do just a quick breakdown for anyone that's interested in seeing the motor breakdown. We can pop back on here in like an hour if you want to see it. We'll do the breakdown. It's 6 o'clock now, so we'll do a pop back in here in about an hour for anyone that wants to go live with an hour. We'll do the breakdown on the motor so you guys can see that and kind of just end. So we'll end this video. So like I said, if you guys are interested in seeing the breakdown for the motor and seeing what that looks like, and
Steve said he's interested.
so we'll see.
It'll be good.
We'll pop back on live here at 7 o'clock. So we're gonna go ahead and end that. Let the phone charge, and we'll see you
He
guys.
said, obviously.
We'll see you guys here in an hour.
See you guys soon. Catch you soon.